You still getting a lot of sick people coming in? What's the status report from the boots on the ground or the Crocs on the ground perspective?
Yeah, the clinic kind of a sense of how the cost score is. It's really true. Every time that we feel something coming up, come down, and it's truly correlate with the cost score and positivity rate. And so far, I tell you, the last week or so, the 10 days, we see less sick people. And there's a decreased number of positive in the clinic setting. I'm not sure why the JIC don't report the clinic no more, but it's just public health data only. But yeah, in the clinic, on the clinic level, the number is going down slowly. Well, we are more comfortable now, but again, I just every patient I see, I just still take some time and talk and educate them, and ask them to be cautious during the holiday. So hopefully, I think most of our people are aware of that. So uh, what we don't want to happen is that they celebrate Thanksgiving, but they will miss someone during Christmas. That's what we don't want to do. You know, yeah, think about it. No, you do not want to lose someone in your family during Christmas time. So, you know, uh, take care of your loved one, and take caution during Thanksgiving.
Yeah, no, I asked about the JIC information regarding why is it that we were only seeing numbers for the swabs and the results for public health and not from like GRMC or GMH or the private clinics. And apparently, according to public health, their lab and the epidemiology offices are moving to the ITC building. And so that's why we don't see that specific data included. But I was told that the overall number of swabs and results supposedly includes the private clinics and GRMC. So, for example, today, last night's release, 670 samples. That's everybody. That's not just public health, and there were only 70 that returned positive. So
Yeah, it's kind of important to break it down to
right,
where
right,
it's coming from, just
right.
because we have to have data to
Mm-hmm.
kind of educate people here where you're supposed to go. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're supposed to go to the emergency room. You're supposed to go to the clinic. So it's kind of important to know, for people to know. So to lump everything together, it's kind of hard to do. We're
Mm-hmm.
not a big island, and I don't think it's that hard to kind of separate them out, so that way where it's coming from.
Right.
But again, we encourage that people, if they have mild symptom, to go to a clinic level to be seen on the tier 2 and tier 3 clinic. If they have shortness of breath or you can't breathe, and that's when they go to the emergency room.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You don't want to burden the emergency room so much, because I know they pack to the rim already, and so does the clinic at certain day. So yeah, I mean they need to report a little bit differently, and hopefully after the move on this Friday and Saturday, that the number breakdown will
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
more accurate, and also it kind of lets you know more detail on like the location and comorbidity of the patient. So uh, like I say, they are moving. So yeah, I would let them
Mm-hmm.
have the Friday, but I think Friday, Saturday next week, it should be better.
Yeah. Yeah. That was one of the things that I had noticed in the JIC reports, that whatever happened to the breakdown, right, of all the different swabs and results from the individual locations. But yeah, that's basically what I was told. What
Yeah,
else did you guys discuss during last night's PAG meeting?
there's a new testing platform coming out, the Bimax antigen card. It's a rapid antigen card that you can take, have to result about 10-15 minutes for to identify if you have the COVID-19 or not. And it passed out by the government, and the key here is that to have available for own clinic to use. So I highly encourage own clinic in Guam to contact public health and try to obtain the biomass antigen card for the use with in your clinic. So it's really kind of identify a sick positive COVID patient as fast as possible, so that way they can do the isolation. It's at no cost to anyone for that card. So the only thing that they can use on symptomatic patient. So if any clinic have that card, if you come in have cough and cold, any symptom that might relate to COVID-19, that the clinic can use it, and it doesn't cost the patient anything. So any clinic can apply, and the public health will make the process smooth for you to obtain the antigen card for your clinic. So yeah, that's something new. This is coming, I think, the last few days. So again, the message to the clinic is contact public health, Dr. Ambuliski, and then and try to get those antigen card to your clinic. So that way, you don't have to swap the patient and wait for a day or two for the PCR test to come back.
Is this the 30,000 antigen test kits that Dr. Ann was referring to last week, Friday?
Yes, it's pretty simple. It's just like the flu swab, it's a nasal pharyngeal swab still, and just like the flu swab, it is very simple to use, and again, it gives you a result in 10 to 15 minutes. So, but it can only be used for symptomatic patient only. I mean that if you have no symptom, you're not supposed to use it.
Okay. Did you guys talk about quarantine?
We talk about the quarantine a little bit, but still, the process of quarantine is again it depend on how the rate of positivity in the state. If they continue to surge upward, and it's kind of be careful on try to cut down the quarantine. Also, we still have to wait for the home quarantine process to be ironed out by public health. If you're going to test out on day 6 from the home quarantine, you have to have a process to monitor, make sure the patient show up for the testing. So those things still in the planning stage. So hopefully, I don't know, the next few weeks, depend how the numbers show up after the Thanksgiving and the Christmas, they might relook at that process again.
What do you know about this Guam Respond monitoring system that was released in the JIC last night? This new tool.
Yeah, the new tool is, I think it's just basically to monitor patient symptom somewhat, but I tell you, what we really need to do is have an overall system that starting from the testing process and make it smooth, so that way, digitally you can notify the patient through the SMS to their cell phone, or to the email before the real person calling the patient. That's the timeline that make a huge difference when you have a positive in your lab to the time when the patient receive a call from an actual person. That is not happening, and it really need to be happen, because if I assume the lab come back positive, if the patient know right away to their phone, they would take precaution and isolate themselves away from their family. But if we're gonna wait till the next day or a day or two before we contact the patient, then it's too late already. Patients still go around and they're gonna give it to their family or to their friends already. So that's the testing part, and we haven't get there yet. And I'm not sure if public health have the ability to do that with the new digital platform they have. And also for isolation, I don't think that it's digitalized to the point where they are positive will go straight to an assigned person that will do isolation and make the contact right away. And then again, the platform need to carry over to, the contact tracing surveillance team. Those have to be in place, but I don't think that the platform they have is the right one that that do all that kind of stuff. And also, the platform is important because it gives you a key performance indicator. It lets you know how well you do, how well your isolation, how well the contact tracing, the surveillance. Are you reaching on time? So those are the main thing that we need to know in order to us to move forward. I mean, we are 8-9 months inside, and we still don't have the key performance indicator yet, and that's something that is hard to improve your process when you don't have those numbers. And as a physician advisory group, we are pushing for that number because we are anywhere close to have immunization or treatment for this, and it can take several months to another year or so. But we have to have those key performance indicator in order to know how well we do, and we're still waiting. So I'm hoping that with the moving and everything that public health have in the last few days, that I can provide that, so that way we can plan our future and make sure that what we do is correct.
I just wondering, maybe you could provide some clarification. When the governor met with the Rotarians yesterday, she had said that we were in the third wave of this pandemic. Is that the case, or are we still in the second?
I think we're going to be a third wave or not. It really depend on the Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday. We are trending downward. Again, if you remove the cluster, we are trending downward slowly. But the holiday is around the corner next week. So yeah, that third wave might come if the people don't take precaution next Thursday.
Right. Or anything else from the meeting?
Yeah, we just
vaccine,
go
COVID clinic.
Yeah, the vaccine. I know they have a meeting this afternoon sometime just to go over the vaccine, the plan, and who will get it, and all that kind of stuff. So I don't have anything there. But
wait, who's meeting? Who's meeting?
There's a new treatment that actually the monoclonal antibody treatment that we just received, and it's supposed to give it to the mild moderate COVID symptom for COVID patient that can give to them right away, and hopefully it make them feel better. Just like President Trump had. So we try to roll that out as soon as possible. So as soon as you diagnose someone that COVID positive, and that they have comorbidity, that they can have the IV treatment right away, and hopefully they cut the risk of them end up in the hospital.
What was the name? What was the name of that?
Hopefully it worked, huh?
What was the name of that treatment?
Oh my goodness! I know you're going to ask that. It's a very complicated name. It's I think that it's a very, very long name. So
okay, so, but this is like through an IV.
It's through an IV infusion.
Yeah,
it's only given once, one time. So it's only give one time only, and supposed to kind of block the virus into entering the human cell. So basically, it neutralizes the virus, and hopefully it works and make people feel better faster. But again, we have a few doses. I think 50, 60 doses, and if we use more, they give us more. But it's interesting, and to see how it will cut down the hospitalization of the patient, especially one that have high comorbidity. People ask what comorbidity, and comorbidity is Number one is obesity, which is the weight. Diabetes is the other one. Hypertension,
Doc,
heart
it's
disease,
smoking. Bamlanivimab.
Yeah, yes, there
Yeah,
you go. You
right
can
on.
get that one.
Just refer to me as Dr. Barnett from now on. Yes, I have your prescription of Bamlanivimab.
This is the
It's,
one
it's a
that
tongue
Lillian was
twisting
talking about,
word,
right?
okay?
Dr. Cabrera just sent it to me. It's
Oh.
Bamlanivimab.
Yeah.
Bamlanivimab. Bamlanivimab.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Got it. Okay.
Bam
But-
Nimmy Bob.
If you use that in
Bibimbap.
Scrabble, you are the
It just
trash
reminds me
champion.
of what's that Korean dish in the
I
hot
know.
pot? The bibimbap.
Bimbop. Bimbop.
Put that in my IV.
It's nice to have, and I think that GRMC set up that tent and the IV infusion chair already. So, the process will be kind of ironed out the next day or two, and we hope to start the treatment so that way, again, the patient feel better and recover without having to go in the hospital.
But there's only 50?
Yeah, but I think after you use it, they give you more. It depends on how
I
much you
see.
use
And
it. So
this is
we have-
from HHS?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is it's not going to cost the patient anything.
Can you say that one more time?
Chris, go ahead, Chris.
Bamlanivimab. Yeah, it does. Glenn on our Facebook Live said it sounds like bibimbap.
Okay.
It reminds me of that.
Anyway, but-
Remember that song, Jay?
but-
Bop,
Bitty bitty bop.
zimbilibop,
Oh, I thought that
bop.
other one, that bitty bitty bop.
Oh yeah, the Ika Mouse.
Yeah.
Hanson, right? Yeah.
But really, if you can, just pass the message. Ask people to really take precaution during Thanksgiving, and hopefully, we don't have the third surge that that we expected, and we can have nicer Christmas, and we won't lose anyone for Christmas. So, please take care of your elderly, and be safe and happy Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Doc, are we going to talk to you before Thanksgiving, or is this goodbye?
No, you
Yeah.
can
Okay.
always call. It's okay.
Okay. Just checking because you made it sound like, yep. Checking out, guys. Are you going to be on island, or are you going? Where are you going for Thanksgiving? Saipan?
No. I'm gonna be working, so it's gonna be okay.
Right. Us
All
too.
right.
Okay, Doc. God bless you.
Don't leave us, Doc.
And if you get a
Okay,
line on some of
thank
that
you, guys.
bibimbap,
All right,
Alright.
take,
Okay.
Already
stay
forgot.
safe.
Okay. Okay. Bye.
Okay, Doc. Thank you, Dr. Hoa Wen of the Physicians Advisory Group. Quick break. Coming back with Dr. Ann Pobutsky, the territorial epidemiologist. We try and get public health on every Friday, 7:20. Okay, so that's what's happening on this November 20th. Business! Woohoo! Come on, guys. Friday. Good morning. We're back with more of The Link next, right here on The Breeze, 93.9. Good morning.
Even a small gesture of kindness can brighten a child's day on Christmas. With donations more challenging to deliver, this year, the Salvation Army is in need of your help with their Toys and Joy Drive. Donate new toys or gifts for children and teens anytime between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at their Teton office drop boxes up until December 22nd. You can also drop off your toys to our donation drive-thru in our parking lot in Harmon between 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Giving Tuesday, December 1st. Let's all do our part and dig deep to bring some joy to kids in need this Christmas.
The holidays are almost here, and we could all use an extra dose of cheer and joy this year. So, we're breaking the rules and giving you a holiday head start on Breeze 93.9 FM. Throughout the months of October and November, listen to the special holiday head start blocks of all the season's favorites from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. and again from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Let's try to make spirits bright and make this the most wonderful time of the year. Happy holidays from Breeze. Holiday Head Start is brought to you by Mariana's Coating, specializing in roof repair and more. Call 483-3967 for more information.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information. Thrive, a coalition for a drug-free Dedido, is an active partnership of community members and leaders committed to a vibrant, resilient, and empowered Dedido. It takes a village to raise healthy and drug-free youth. Thrive with us. Find us online or email thrive@westcare.com.
The Christmas Pops virtual marketplace is kicking off on Sunday, November 29th, showcasing local vendors, crafts, and gift-giving ideas to get your holiday shopping season going. Watch our Christmas Pops virtual marketplace special on Sunday, November 29th on KUAM TV8 and Facebook Live with lots of interactive features and giveaways. Then find all the vendors featured on KUAMChristmasPops.com. The program will be encore through December on demand and on the stations of KUAM Communications. There is still time to become a vendor. Visit KUAM.com or email BettyAnn at KUAM.com to find out how. On November 29th, let's check off Christmas lists and support our local economy while doing it. The Christmas Pops Virtual Marketplace is presented by Stroll Courier. Get all your packages, documents, and gifts delivered island-wide. Visit strollguam.com/courier and book a delivery today. And Domino's. Visit domino's.gu for faster, easier online ordering.
We got your 6.
At 6 a.m. with The Link on Breeze 93.9 FM. Bree and I connect you with all the latest news and information you need to know to start your day.
Then check back with Guam's news leader at 6 p.m. for the day's top headlines with KUAM News Primetime.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and everything else in between with KUAM Digital, we got your 6.
Our frontliners have been working tirelessly to keep us safe, and now they need your help to get our island back up and running as safely as possible. Did you know your smartphone can be one of the most powerful tools in our fight against COVID-19? That's why we're bringing you the Guam COVID Alert Exposure Notification app. This app works by letting you know if you've been exposed to someone who's positive. It's completely voluntary, and more importantly, it's completely anonymous. It does not track who you are or your location. Researchers at Oxford University have found that for every 100 to 200 downloads of the app, it can prevent 100 infections and save one life. Add your phone to the COVID fight by going to guamcovidalert.guam.gov or download it from the App Store or Google Play now. Help Guam stop COVID-19.
You're watching The Link with Chris and Sabrina on TV 11, but don't leave yet because we're coming up next on CBS This Morning.
Oh, yeah. That's the way to rock. You don't want to rock all like jiggle jaggle. You just want to rock steady. Love and Half a Day, two of my favorite things. Hey, belated birthday shout out to Boboy CJ Blas. He's singing on this song right here. It was his birthday. This is Sean McGlutton right now. He's with GFD. Shout out GFD. Hope you got your overtime. It's in the mail. It's 7:31.
Just kidding.
I'm just kidding. It's not in the.
Get all excited.
I'm sorry, it's not in the mail. Okay, where is it?
I don't know. I need to talk to Joan. She was working on it.
Okay, so 7:31. It's the Link, November 20th episode of the show. It's all proudly brought to you by Dial Rent to Own, IT&E, Calvo Select Care, federal employees and annuitants. It's the 2020 federal benefits open season. Enroll now until December 14, 2020. You can call 477-9808 for more info. It's also proudly brought to you by the Thrive Coalition, Burger King, Carrier. Good morning. 7:32. Let's go to the KUAM News Zoom room where we have our territorial epidemiologist, Dr. Ann Pobutsky, joining us. Very, very good morning and a happy Friday to you, Dr. Ann.
Thank you.
So where are you at now? Are you fully moved in over at the ITC?
Yes, we are, and it's going to be good because the all of the contact tracers, case investigators, and quarantine and ISO team are all in one giant room.
Wow.
And the data surveillance team is all in one room, and the lab is kind of off by itself. But they really needed the space, as did we, and because they have all the boxes and boxes of the tests that they, distribute.
Wow.
So it's beginning to the lab looks really good. It looks like a real lab, not just obstacle course with boxes all over. So it's good. Even though this has been my fourth move in a year. It's been awful.
But did anybody move over to the Hakapotan building?
No, I don't think it was. I don't really know the story, but it might be that they couldn't get enough computer lines in there or phone lines, because that's the big thing for this response is computers and telephones.
Right.
I see. So never mind Hakapotan. Everybody's over at ITC.
I really don't know.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What the other plans are.
Okay.
Doc, I guess we'll just get right into it. And I kind of wanted to start with this comment that we had in our KUAM News Facebook Live feed. Good morning to our Facebook Live Link fam. Thank you so much for jumping on. There's a new stream because Jason stepped on the Wi-Fi cable and we had to restart it. But thank you guys for finding us again. It's a question that I've kind of wondered about too, because we saw these crazy clusters with construction, with DOC. And we heard from, Dr. Cabrera and Dr. Ho was just on this idea that we can separate out the clusters and just look at the numbers that are left and then deduce that, we're sitting pretty, according to the governor. Jesse comments here. What's the difference with clusters and the general public? Why are they separating them? Wouldn't a cluster start with infection by being infected by the general public? So, Doc, if you could kind of just explain that idea or the science behind a cluster is a cluster.
These two cases were kind of unique, the DOC cluster and the H2 workers barracks, because at least from what I understand, I might be wrong, I don't know all the details, that yes, it was probably local workers who infected someone in the barracks, and then their situation, the H2 workers, is their the Bayanihan, the countrymen, the Filipinos, they socialize together, they eat together. And from what I also understand, they weren't very good about following the rules about mask wearing and social distancing. And as for the prison, stuff's always going into the prison that we don't want there, So COVID obviously is one of them. I thought it was just a matter of time before we saw a prison cluster, because we observed that in Hawaii a couple months ago, where it just swept through their prison. Yeah. But those clusters have pretty much been contained, except for the additional follow-up with the local subcontractors and the local population. So that's pretty much contained. That's why you see last weekend we had the high triple-digit numbers, and later on this, or the week before, and we're now down to double digits again. So as Dr. Wen said, it's, we are seeing a little dip, and we hope it will continue, but it all, again, he mentioned it depends on how people behave during the holidays, because that's what's coming up. I was in Payless yesterday. All the trimmings are there, for all the holiday stuff, Thanksgiving, Christmas. So the message is for people to just try and be safe and scale it down. And if you are going to have a group, maybe a small group, have it outside. Go to the beach, open air. We really don't want to have to see large parties, because then we're going to see funerals by Christmas. Wow. Because I'm still looking at the deaths. We're at 6,416 cases as of this last night or yesterday, and 101 deaths, which means that COVID-19 will be probably number 3 in the top 10 leading causes of death for Guam for 2020. It's always cancer and heart disease are the number 1 and number 2, and then it varies. And given our numbers, I think it's going to be number 3 or 4, which goes to show you that this is not, it's not just the colds and flu. I had somebody talking to me last week saying, oh, isn't COVID just with us? And it's just like colds and flu. It's like, no, it's more lethal if it's coming into one of the top leading causes of death for the island. And we had one death. The only symptom he had was shortness of breath, and he was dead the next day. This is not good for, again, we're talking about people at risk, elderly. I'm at risk. I'm not doing Thanksgiving. It's just me and my husband. We're not having a party. We're not going anywhere. Just keep it scaled back. That's what we're hoping people will do.
Dr. Ann, I don't want to, put you at odds with the governor and get you in trouble, but she addressed the Rotarians yesterday, and I believe she said that we have it under control. The virus.
I don't know if I could make that statement. I think maybe she was talking about those clusters, those large clusters, which have been contained, and did a bang up job on that. But we're still seeing double digits. We had 70 cases yesterday.
Right. Yeah. So who are these, Doc? If we're done with, I'm sorry.
So it is down. That's it really depends on the community. It's like, public health just cleans up the mess. It really is community responsibility, not just individual responsibility, but community and familial responsibility to say, let's keep this contained. We're getting closer to having a vaccine.
Doc, so if we run through and contain these clusters, pardon me if this sounds like a dumb question, but then who's testing positive nowadays?
Well, I don't have those numbers off the top of my head.
It's just community spread, basically, is what we're seeing now. With
community spread. It's still community spread, mainly household contacts. Not much you can do about that, because we have large households in Guam, and you can try, isolate your elderly, and just do what you're supposed to do if you are positive, and isolate and all that. There's people get instructions for when we test positive.
Right. There was a new guidance that came out, right, Bree?
Yeah, for, I think, medical.
Right. And it was basically like what to tell people who test positive for the virus.
Right.
Yeah. And you want to, did you get a chance to put your eyes on that, Doc?
No. I trust them. I trust the clinics to tell people what to do, and public health probably assisted with that.
Yeah.
Because give people instructions.
Can you tell us anything about how, I guess, PIGA and the NCS area were selected for the rapid engagement team mission this weekend?
PIGA and the other one, no, I don't. I wasn't generating that data. They probably got some intel on another possible cluster. I don't know. I've been just doing other stuff.
What have you been working on then, Doc?
What have I been working on?
Yeah, I know that's a loaded question.
That's mostly just moving. We just moved,
Yeah.
and I just that's presented at the Diabetes Control Program, their community coalition last Saturday. I think I already mentioned what we were seeing.
Yeah.
We're seeing more than half of the cases have diabetes, the deaths, and that's very different from what they're seeing in the continental U.S., where there's more people with dementia, lung problems. But we're seeing, because we have death certificate data, we have the line listing, and then we have the discharge notes from the hospital. And between those three, we're able to put together a clearer picture. Even though most people die of a respiratory, hypoxia, respiratory failure, ARDS, acute respiratory distress system, some of the underlying conditions, the main one we're seeing is diabetes and obesity, as Dr. Wen just summarized it. And then we see this pattern: underlying conditions, diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular disease. And we see some cancer, but not as much as you would expect, and some lung disease.
You think with the low numbers on the cancer part, is it maybe that people are protecting their family members with cancer?
I don't know. All we know is that the pattern is cardiovascular disease and diabetes seem to be the major risks for Guam.
Do you have any other information to provide about the reason for public health moving from this daily, I guess, sit report to now being a weekly situation report?
Well, we've been working on this for weeks because we've gotten a request for more detailed data on the clusters and the contact tracing, and a little more detailed in the demographics, the deaths, the hospitalizations, and we're trying to put that together as a weekly report, because the daily numbers at this point in the pandemic, does it really matter that you get a daily summary? And we're trying to keep a daily summary going, and possibly a once a week sit rep, and then have a weekly surveillance report with more detail. Again, we've been promising this for weeks now, and we just haven't had time to do it, mainly because we get caught up dealing with these surges. So the data has to be entered into the system that Stephanie set up, that we're using to count all the laboratory data, all the case level data, and they were migrating it into this system we call the NBS, which is the surveillance system that we operate for reporting to the CDC, not just for COVID, but for everything else. But we were migrating, she was leading the migration of all this data into this program. And then we had these surges, and that means we have to get caught up on data entry. And we recently hired a young man who has a math and statistics background from UOG. We headhunted him, and he's with us, but he's been doing data entry. For the deaths, I've been doing data entry. We all just we do what needs to be done to try and keep ahead of this. But the idea is for a weekly report to provide a little more detail on these underlying conditions, the deaths, the hospitalizations, and a little more detail on what we're seeing with the clusters in the community. And it's a moving target. So it's really hard to say, it's just a point in time count. Even the summary numbers that you're getting daily are just a point in time count. Do we really need to know if there's 70 on Saturday and 81 on Sunday? Is that you'll get that Monday. So it's going to be a lot easier on us. We're going to try and keep a daily summary going. We'll see what happens. We're supposed to get some additional people to help with the data entry and get caught up. And the people of the community can help by not getting infected. So we don't have to add your data to our system. Keep it low, simmer it down, and watch out for the holidays coming up, because that's where they saw a surge in Canada after the Canadian Thanksgiving. As you know, it's earlier than the U.S. Thanksgiving.
I didn't even know they did Thanksgiving, honest. Yeah.
By any chance, do you guys keep data on COVID patients that tested positive? They recovered, and then they retested positive?
No. Some of them have retested positive, but it could be they still have, dead cells in their system. But no, we haven't had any repeat infections, if that's what you're trying to get at. It's very rare, very rare. Some people have tested positive repeatedly for weeks and weeks, but that's just a fluke.
What about those who recover, Doc? I've heard just from friends, people who get the bad, because, there's the asymptotic COVID, then you got the mild symptoms, and then some people with no underlying conditions. I know of a couple who were hospitalized.
Yeah.
So when they recover, and I just read some national stories, they're maybe scarred for life. You know what I mean? Have a hard time really getting back to what they were pre-COVID. Do you?
Right.
Yeah.
And there's documentation about that, about people taking months to recover. It's a nasty virus. And not much we can do about that except, again, prevention message. You don't want to get infected, and you don't want... I'm at risk. My husband's at risk. That's why I'm not doing Thanksgiving. Right. Forget it. I don't want to get this virus. I could die. Yeah. That's my message. My husband could die. He's 77 years old. Even though he's fit and healthy, I don't want to get this virus. It's nasty. People take months to recover even. Some people have neurological symptoms. We've also seen a lot of people going into the hospital who later died who have altered mental states where they're all, fuzzy and confused because the disease is taking a toll on them with the diabetes, the heart problem, and then they're coming in with this altered mental state because they're confused and it's affecting them that way.
Yeah, we just had Jay. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, Dr. Pobutsky, Jason here. We had a psychiatric nurse yesterday that we were interviewing, and she said that part of something that we have never covered as of yet on this show was that a lot of people, like you just said, have psychoses that they're experiencing. They hear voices. They are they have like a...
Yeah, there's some obviously effects on your brain as well. So brain, heart, circulatory system, and of course the lungs, because that's where it goes in, respiratory. Yeah. So yes, it's really not good.
And that's something that I'm assuming a lot of people did not even consider, that there may be like a mental health component to this as well, because people say, okay, you're under a lot of stress, you're experiencing anxiety, obviously depression sets in, but they actually said there are very serious, mental health components that could linger even after if you recover.
Yeah, that's why.
Well, think about it. Think of just about the stress level in the community. About every time you get out of the car and go to the store, the mask and all that, and this heightened sense of awareness and paranoia. That doesn't mean we're all mentally ill, but we're at a heightened sense of awareness. But some people do have psychological, psychiatric, neurological symptoms, as well as the physical ones.
Plus, too, you guys
got to... I don't know that it's well documented here. We have enough trouble keeping up with the physical ailments in the hospital, Yeah.
So you guys got to manage your stress, because, when you're stressing out, I mean, it sounds impossible to do in this pandemic because it's just a whole new crazy world, but got to manage your stress, because when you're stressed out and you're tense, your immune system is compromised. So get your exercise, do what you got to do to kind of just sail as calmly as you can. Doc, I wanted to ask about the CAR score. It's at 19.0 right now. And, we were just talking around the office, and I just skipping past all the math that goes into the formula of the square root of whatever to come up with the CAR score. Just as the territorial epidemiologist, maybe if you could just simplify it for us and tell us, what does the public need to do to get this CAR score down to 5?
Well, obviously stop spreading virus around and protect yourself. The CAR score is the COVID area risk score, and that's Dr. Cabrera's summary metric. It includes data that comes from public health. It includes the number of cases, the test positivity rate, the hospitalizations. There's a number of metrics that go into it to look at our risk. And as you know, it was high. It was up at 30 point something after the big clusters, and now it was 20 yesterday, and maybe it's gone down. But the idea is to show that if the CAR score goes below a certain level, that we're not seeing as many infections, and then there's lower risk. And I'm not sure if it was designed for the community or for policy development around bringing opening the economy and bringing the tourists back in and all that. But obviously, the community, there's been widespread community infections. There's been these big clusters. We still have to wear our masks. We don't have a vaccine here. Even when we get it, it's going to go to the healthcare workers first and those vulnerable at-risk populations, elderly people, just like the flu shot and the pneumonia shot. So we're not out of the woods. We just still need to protect ourselves and our families and our community by wearing the mask, social distancing. Again, try and have safe holidays. Keep it low key. Keep it in your household if you can. We're almost at the point where, sometime in the next several months, we'll have vaccine available. And they're developing plans for that. Mass vaccination, how is it going to roll out, et cetera, et cetera.
I told you
I'm
it
looking
wasn't.
forward to it.
Yeah.
I'll be first in line for the vaccine. Yeah, give it to me.
I'm trying to figure out who I'm related to.
Well, that's the next one. I want as soon as it's available.
Right.
Well, Doc.
Then we can right?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Doc, again for your time. We'll let you finish unpacking and getting us settled in, but you always appreciate the time you spend with us on a Friday morning.
Sure. Have a safe Thanksgiving, everyone.
Right. Okay. You too, Doc.
You too.
Okay. It's
Hey.
7:52.
Happy holidays, Doc.
Thank you. 7:52. Let's keep it in the KUAM News Zoom room where Jason Solis is going to jump in for this cool little segment here. It's just so happy to get IT&E, a proud sponsor of the link on the Breeze 93.9 on as we throw it over to Jason Solis now for what's going to be a really cool virtual tour. Jason, take it away.
Yeah, it is a really, really good day here in the Zoom room because joining us right now is Gian from IT&E. Hafaday and good morning, Gian. Thanks for giving us some of your time and dropping some really, really good knowledge on us about some amazing deals you guys have. The holidays, of course, coming right up. But people might want to check out store.ite.com in the very near future because you guys have some cool things coming up.
Yes, we do. We do. And I'm here today actually to announce that we are already carrying the iPhone 12. So the iPhone 12 series is finally on IT&E. So you can go ahead and log on to store.ite.net to check it out. Our online store is safe.
Wait, can you just pick that up again? It just looks so wonderful to actually like see those on Guam. And you know what, Gian?
I don't know how to hold it up well because they're a lot. But
yeah,
actually, Jason, my favorite is the mini. It's really super cute.
Very nice. I was gonna say, we like to quote from the good book here on the show, and envy is a sin. But I gotta say, I'm super jealous of you right now that you've got not one, not two, not three, but 4 of those things. And that is kind of the point because there are 4 different models of the iPhone 12. Yeah. It's Apple's newest and latest awesome smartphone, and you guys have all 4 models.
Yes, we are carrying all 4 models. So I'll introduce to you. First is the iPhone 12 mini. So this is for the budget conscious, those that wants to also bring back the concept of having small phones, but with big features. Because this small one is actually more powerful than the Note 20 Ultra. Can you imagine that?
Ooh.
It fits my palm.
Shots fired at Samsung.
Yeah, it has the Apple's most advanced chip. It's the A14 Bionic chip, and it beats all Android phones and even all Apple phones. So this tiny one is really something else. So this is my favorite actually of the 4.
What is the screen dimension of the mini? Just so people know, because the mini actually can fit in your back pocket, it can fit in your breast pocket very, very comfortably.
Yeah. This is 5.4 inches across.
Nice.
And then I'm introducing to you now the iPhone 12. This is for people that want a bigger screen, but maybe don't want the bells and whistles of the Pro line. So this could be their choice, the iPhone 12. It comes at 6.1 inches. And then you will know the difference between the 12 and the 12 Pro because of the camera.
I saw it right because there.
The 12
You've got
Pro comes with
3 lenses. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it comes with 3 lenses. It has a telephoto lens. And of course, this is equipped with Dolby video for HDR recording. And also, of course, this is more, the resolution on this one is better. They also have the LiDAR scanner for augmented reality capabilities. And what I have here is the gold. It is super elegant. It looks like a gold bar.
Oh, that bevel is very attractive. Yeah. Okay, so
And
kids, just so you know,
I have
what Jihan's holding up is basically what you're saying is for the augmented reality. So if you're using some of the more advanced features of, say, like Snapchat or like Instagram or TikTok, you've got like those features where you can actually put objects, virtual objects in real life space and everything like that. There's no lag. It's going to pop up real quick. You can do all your manipulation and everything like that. Your social media game is going to pop. Okay, so yeah,
yes, that's
that
right.
extra camera does make
what
a huge
I
difference.
have here now is the 12 Pro Max, of course. Yeah, this is the high end of the bunch, and this is targeted, actually the Pro and the Pro Max is targeted for the traditional consumers who are willing to pay extra for bigger screen and for more advanced camera lenses and for its cutting edge photographic features and softwares.
So this is like if you want to, go out. I mean, you could
really,
literally make a
really
movie
for
with this.
everyone with the new iPhone 12 series.
Yeah, you could make a movie with these, and I'm not just talking about go out and make these 10-second Snapchat and Instagram clips.
Because it has.
You could shoot and edit in iMovie on this, and you could make something that you would see on Netflix in the next 2 weeks. It's that powerful.
Yes, that's correct. Because it has Dolby Vision and also Dolby Atmos for sound, so it's really high end. And what's good about these phones? There, as I mentioned, the A14 Bionic chip, the most advanced and fastest processor ever on a smartphone, are all on these 4 phones, and it's not expensive. In the market, even as we launched today, the Note 20 is more expensive than these 4. The Note 20. So even the other lower end phones, 12 mini and 12 is lower. That's why maybe we got a lot of orders from people. A lot of people already pre-ordered these phones from us. So if you guys wanna, join the bunch before we run out, go to store.ite.net. You also get free delivery, and also just happening from today until the 30th, we will have an online store promotion when you get these phones for 15% off if you get them on the $80 plan for 12 or 24 months, plus a free Apple USB-C power adapter.
Oh, very nice. Okay, well, let's talk about that. I love how you segued to the power side, because what's the battery life on these?
The battery life, what's good about these phones is actually they've invested on the battery, so their battery is bigger, and even with the with their high definition cameras and also with their improved Wi-Fi technology, they can last you like a day. So they really invested on their batteries. And what's also new about these new phones is they've gotten the MagSafe technology on it. So it's really basically a step forward on Apple's portless technology. So they are aiming to remove this port in the future and just have charging with the MagSafe. So we will be having that in our stores soon.
Man, I've still got my mini USB cords that Apple now said are no longer. now I've got all these lightning cables that I'm gonna do nothing with, because now we can charge wirelessly. But I've got no problem with that. If I can charge my phone just putting it on a pad, I'm a happy camper. So. Okay, so again, I said store.ite.com in the beginning, but Gian said it's store.ite.net. And Gian, what guarantees or what options do you have for people? Because we want to make sure that we stay socially distant, and if we do shopping online, how can we pick up our phones from you?
Actually, I want to encourage everyone to go online, just like what Dr. Nguyen said earlier. Be safe. Even for Thanksgiving, our online store is ready to accommodate you, because number one, it's safe and secure. You can have your own account online. It's tied to PayPal, and it already shows you right away what stocks are available for purchase, even ongoing promos tied up to the phones. All the information is there. And when you check out and pay, all you gotta do is pick up your phone or have it delivered. It's that easy.
Okay, so either way. So thank you for making so many options available to us. So I gotta ask, right? Okay, geek to geek, because obviously you're super jazzed about this phone. What was your experience like the first time you booted up like an iPhone 12 and just saw, you know, the responsiveness, the screen resolution, you know, the battery life, you know, doing a variety of apps on it.
Yeah, I've been playing with them for like the last 2 days. And actually with the mini, it's so light, you would forget that you're holding a phone. And then with the cameras of the Pro and the Pro Max are more consistent in terms of daylight photography. They also have less noise if our photographer viewers are listening. So less noise, and even their nighttime pictures, it's more consistent than and it's improved with because I'm using 11 Pro Max. It's improved, and even the screen, the resolution of the 12 is better than the predecessor. And basically, yeah, it's really good. It's really beautiful, and I like how the edges are more sharp, you know, for more grip. And it's reminiscent of the 5S, so it's really nice and it's really good. This is also what I like. The gold. The gold is like a gold bar.
Well,
really
Gian,
like.
you are doing Santa's work for him, and I know somewhere somehow Steve Jobs is looking down, smiling in approval. So thank you so much for your help, and make sure everybody check out store.ite.net, because ITE are friends over there, and they're a proud sponsor of us here on The Link. They have many iPhones for you to choose from. They don't have a unlimited supply, so you want to get these phones and you want to get them soon. So, Gian, thank you again, and we wish happy holidays to you and your team over at ITE and to your family as well.
Right, thank you. Jason, sorry, if I can also just invite everybody to check out our Black November promo. This is ongoing until the end of the month. If they are not looking for something like really expensive phone right now and just want to upgrade, they can look at our phones, the iPhone 11, the Galaxy S10 Plus, the Note 10, Note 10 Plus. They are all on discount right now with our Black November promo. They get their first month free if they sign up on the $80 plan with a 24 months contract. So that's also on the store.ite.net, so they can check it out.
Very nice. It would make an amazing gift for the student that's probably going to be still continuing to do virtual education. Again, you said, you know, professional photographers, aspiring filmmakers, or, you know, just people who are really into living the digital lifestyle. So we thank you for enabling us with this kind of technology. And again, you know, we wish you and your team the very happy holidays.
Thank you. Goodbye.
All right. Bye. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for your time. Okay, Chris, there is about, I would say, 3.5 pounds of drool in my face mask right now.
Yeah.
That was the iPhone 12. I saw it with my own eyes. Even though we're in Zoom, I know she's local. The iPhone 12, they have made landfall.
Yeah, it's here. So there you go. Always glad to let you geek out, Jay. It's 8:03 to our viewers on KUAM TV. Good morning. There's a whole bunch of great programming on the way. But if you want to jump on the show, we do have Lillian Posadas just moments away with our Guam Memorial Hospital COVID update and a whole other rest of the show to go on. We're doing Curbside to Crib today. We're also going to check out our friends at CPK, California Pizza Kitchen, and talk about some of the great pizza pies that they're offering, and we'll maybe even eat some this morning. It's coming up. Who else we got here, Bree? Yeah, we're getting wine cellar sale at Payless is going on today. So our girl Kimmy is coming on to talk about that. Stay home, drink wine. Sounds like a winning recipe to me. To our viewers on KUAM TV, again, thank you so much. You can come over on the radio, too. KUAM FM, I got you, Guam. This is The Breeze, 93.9 on the Friday, whoa, business episode of The Link. My name's Chris.
I'm Sabrina.
And we'll be back with more of the show on Facebook Live and on the radio. KUAM TV, hasta adios. The show also proudly brought to you by Burger King, where they present on Tuesdays and Thursdays on The Link. Cover Me. Thank you so much, Burger King.
Cover Me is presented by Burger King. The Christmas Pops virtual marketplace is kicking off on Sunday, November 29th, showcasing local vendors, crafts, and gift-giving ideas to get your holiday shopping season going. Watch our Christmas Pops virtual marketplace special on Sunday, November 29th on KUAM TV8 at 11 a.m. and Facebook Live with lots of interactive features and giveaways. Then find all the vendors featured on KUAMChristmasPops.com. The program will be encore through December and on demand on the stations of KUAM Guam Communications. There is still time to become a vendor. Visit KUAM.com or email Betty-Ann at KUAM.com to find out how. On December 29th, let's check off Christmas lists and support our local economy while doing it. The Christmas Pops virtual marketplace is presented by Stroll Courier. Get all your packages, documents, and gifts delivered island-wide. Visit strollguam.com/courier and book a delivery today. Domino's. Visit domino's.gu for faster, easier online ordering. And JA Guam, bringing the business of life to life.
Even a small gesture of kindness can brighten a child's day on Christmas. With donations more challenging to deliver, this year, the Salvation Army is in need of your help with their Toys and Joy drive. Donate new toys or gifts for children and teens anytime between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at their Teton office drop boxes up until December 22nd. You can also drop off your toys to our donation drive-thru in our parking lot in Harmon between 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Giving Tuesday, December 1st. Let's all do our part and dig deep to bring some joy to kids in need this Christmas.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information. Thrive, a coalition for a drug-free Dedido, is an active partnership of community members and leaders committed to a vibrant, resilient, and empowered Dedido. It takes a village to raise healthy and drug-free youth. Thrive with us. Find us online or email thrive@westcare.com.
The holidays are almost here, and we could all use an extra dose of cheer and joy this year. So, we're breaking the rules and giving you a holiday head start on Breeze 93.9 FM. Throughout the months of October and November, listen to the special holiday head start blocks of all the season's favorites from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. and again from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Let's try to make spirits bright and make this the most wonderful time of the year. Happy holidays from Breeze. Holiday Head Start is brought to you by Mariana's Coating, specializing in roof repair and more. Call 483-3967 for more information.
Freddie Berdalio, Joe Hernandez, and Gene Castro, Marianas Collective.
That's classic right there.
Good stuff.
You know, they say you never forget your first love.
Well, he's talking about the music. Good morning. It's 8:12, Friday, November 20th. Episode of The Link of the Breeze. Business! Whoa! 8:12. Coming up, we're going to talk with a young lady, and it's the saddest story. I mean, we've heard a lot of these quarantine chronicles. And just when you think you heard it all, something else happened. So we're going to speak in the Zoom room with Ariel Gumatauta, who we'll get to it. It's coming up here. But first, let's go to the Guam Memorial Hospital, right on the front lines of the war on COVID. We have hospital administrator Lillian Posadas this morning. Good morning, Lillian. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Bree. Good morning, Jason. Guam. Thank you for this opportunity.
Of course, we're just so appreciative of the accessibility that you provide to us here on the link in the name of just informing the public about what's going on as much as you can. So we'll just jump right into it, Lillian. COVID numbers at the Guam Memorial Hospital.
Okay. As of this morning, our COVID census is at 51. Of the 51 individuals, 11 of them are at the ICU level of care. And then of the 11 that require ICU level of care, 5 of them are on ventilator support. And also included in this 51 census, there are 9 recovering and convalescing over at the SIF facility.
Have we had any deaths since the last one that was announced?
No, knock on wood, we haven't had any. So it's fine.
How's the staff holding up? Because it looks like the hospitalizations have continued to decline. Are they? I mean, it's still in the 50s, which is unacceptable. But are they? Is there a little bit of breathing room, maybe, Lillian? Or
There is some breathing room, and so we're allowing some of the staff to take some days off to rest and recuperate and have some time with their family. Right. So yes, we're but again, we're still preparing for if in case we do have that third surge or increase number of patients coming in.
You told us that you guys are making preparations in anticipation of any hospitalizations that would have occurred from the big clusters in the construction companies and the Department of Corrections. Did you see any hospitalizations from those two groups?
They're coming in, not in large numbers that we thought we would see, but they are definitely coming in, needing acute care. So we're accommodating them, and we're able to accommodate them.
We heard last there were 5 DOC inmates hospitalized over there at GMH. Has that number gone up, or is it still just 5?
No, it hasn't gone up. It's still around 5.
Mm-hmm. And they're all in the Blue Med tents?
No, they're not in the Blue Med tent. They're in the COVID care units. I think either Care 3 or Care 6 or Care 4.
But are any of them receiving ICU level of care?
Right now, none are in the ICU level of care.
Okay. We spoke with Dr. Hoa about this. I can't even pronounce the name.
Oh, hold on.
Bimibab.
No.
That the antibody, the monoclonal antibody, the Bamlanivimab.
Lillian,
that one.
Bamlanivimab.
Bamlanivimab.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Do you have any new information? Are you guys going to be distributing that, or is that GRMC?
We, Guam Memorial Hospital was identified as the health facility that will receive it, and we've received the 50 vials, 50 doses that was allotted to Guam. And so it is in our pharmacy. Our doctors here have already pretty much, gone through the protocol and all that literature that was provided to us from HHS and from the Eli Lilly company. And so now they're ready to roll it out. They all agree with it, and, they're ready to administer the transfusion. So the, individuals that come into the emergency room who meet the criteria, test positive, because we have to administer it to individuals who test positive within the first 10 days, and who do not, who meet the criteria. So we're ready to roll it out.
Now, is it going to be rolled out at GMH or GRMC?
Because we receive the doses, but we can also share it with GRMC. Absolutely. Okay. So, we like to let them also have some of this, so that when they have individuals who come into their emergency room and they test positive and meet the criteria, who are at high risk for developing acuity, going into that, going through over the cliff, because they have that factor that puts them at high risk, such as diabetes. That's been one of the most common factor of risk factor for the individuals who test positive. They really become acutely ill. So, that's the criteria for the doctors to then administer to give the Bamlanivimab transfusion at an outpatient, condition, so that they don't need to be hospitalized, in the hospital. Right. So they can administer it in the emergency room. The administration takes about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. The individual is observed in the emergency room. And, if there are any reactions, they will then respond accordingly. And if not, no reactions within the 2 hours of observation after it's transfused, then they are released. Mm-hmm. They still need to continue isolation because they've tested positive. Mm.
Mm-hmm. Were there any requirements that HHS have mandated to GMH since they gave us these 50 vials? Do we have to do any sort of report back to them on anything?
We're going to monitor. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to keep track, and we're going to monitor. And every day we do enter into the HHS teletracking portal all the data that's related to COVID. So that will be included in the daily report to HHS teletracking.
So it's just added into the reports that you already provide.
Yeah, we are already putting it on a daily basis, mm-hmm. Because then all that data that goes into the HHS, that will determine the ongoing weekly allotment of our monoclonal antibody treatment.
Right. Lillian, I know with the Joint Information Center releases, they, correct me if I'm wrong, Bree, but they aren't breaking it down by clinic or by hospital anymore, right?
Right. With their they don't break down the information in terms of like the tests.
Who's given what test and who's got the positive.
Right.
So we just want to ask, because we don't know, have you guys had a large number of people test positive at GMH? Because I know that's the protocol when they get admitted, right? Because we're just not seeing that breakdown from public health.
Okay, can I clarify that question?
Sure.
The number that's reported by JIC doesn't break it down?
It's just a total number. So they're like 70 positives, but before it would be like, 35 from DLS or, 20 from GMH or,
Okay. Mm-hmm. I guess maybe there was probably some confusion when they were doing it that way, and maybe they're trying to make it as clear as possible and just give it one number through the JIC. But, GMH and all, I guess, I don't know about the other entities, but we are required to report on a daily basis through to HHS teletracking. And part of it is because of the CARES funds that we receive. Right. So, we're required to do that.
So do you know just offhand how many positives you guys had like this week, for example?
This week I can't, because I report also the diagnostic data of how many tests that are ordered every day. And like yesterday, 39 tests were ordered in our facility. And of the 39 that were ordered, the tests were ordered, 5 new positive yesterday, just within our own organization within the hospital. But collectively, since we started testing in April, when we first got the Abbott test machine, collectively, cumulatively, 455 individuals tested positive from that time to yesterday.
Hey, Lillian, so the 39 tests that you ran, you said yesterday, right?
Yes, the 19.
Is that just the regular test that you run when people are admitted or they come into the emergency room, or were these tests prompted by someone, maybe showing symptoms with the staff, or just, I guess, who took the 39 tests? Was it patients or staff?
The ER. When the doctors order for a COVID test to be done, we count that, and then also some follow-up tests of individuals who are in the hospital just to see where they are, whether they have, converted to being negative. Or if a doctor orders a certain individual who's not in the COVID care unit, but perhaps manifesting some symptoms, then the doctor orders for a COVID test. So those are the different scenarios of how this count comes out to be 39 as of yesterday.
Thank you, Lillian.
Even if their employees are also tested, that's included in this count.
Yeah. And we'll just follow up on that. Have you had any additional staff test positive for the virus since the last time we spoke?
No, knock on wood again. Fortunately, I haven't received any report that additional staff have tested.
I wanted to follow up on something that William Kando had mentioned when we spoke with him about alternate care facilities.
The one in Barragata Hot?
Yeah. And he said there was no contract for Catholic Social Services, right? The patients that were moved over there to clear out the SIF. But he wasn't able to provide, so how much is being paid to Catholic Social Services, and is that on a monthly basis?
Which is what?
How much is being paid to Catholic Social Services? Is it on a monthly basis or?
Sure. The original agreement that we drafted and we agreed, both institutions, unfortunately, the AG's office did not bless it. So we're going by that original agreement of leasing that place to house the skilled nursing residents on a temporary basis. $10,000 a month is what we had agreed to pay them. So we've made the payment. We're just now waiting for the subsequent, because we're making the payment through the Government Claims Act process, since we don't have that official signed agreement and approved by the AG's office, by word, by word of honor that we agreed to pay them, and they agreed to house our residents there on a temporary basis. That was just a really, it was an urgent need for us to move them out of our acute care facility. For one, they were vulnerable population. And then second one really was to open up more capacity for COVID patients. Right. And so in the urgency of it, Catholic Social Service was so gracious to allow us to use their facility. And so far it's been working real well, but we do want to bring those residents back into a setting that allows for more to be placed there, because right now the capacity is only 10. They can only accommodate 10 individuals in that facility. And there are other individuals who meet the criteria for long-term care, but unfortunately we can't place them there because there's only so many beds that can accommodate patients.
So I guess then, if this is only temporary, where else are you looking to place them, since the SIF is being used for COVID patients?
Right. We still want to bring them back to that facility because it is structured and it is built for long-term care residents. It's got a kitchen, it's got an area for rehab. And so we want to bring them there. But first we need to separate the ventilation system because it's one whole system for the entire facility. And when you've got COVID individuals in there, you're increasing definitely placing them to be infected for the infection to transmission, right, of the COVID. So we want to make sure that we separate that ventilation system first so that there's no chances of transmitting the COVID from one wing to the other wing where the SMU residents will be. So until we get that, resolved, then we can then bring them over to the SIF.
So it could be a while then.
Well, hopefully, we're hoping to get it done. There is a contractor that we're working with to get that project done.
What's the timeline?
Oh gosh, like I said yesterday, we wanted these things to be done yesterday.
Last week.
Since everything.
Relying on expertise of the contractor.
Right.
So the $10,000 a month. So are you guys current?
We are current and we want to. However, we haven't received the invoices from Catholic Social Services. So as soon as we get it, we process the payment.
So they have not been paid yet.
Well, we paid, but again, we're waiting for them to give us the invoice.
Did you ask about the roof?
No, I'm still trying to. So why did the AG's office have problems with the lease agreement?
Well, because it was an emergency need for us, we needed to provide all the discussions and all the options that we explored, and we did. We provided that, but they wanted to be in more detail description record, procurement record. That's what's required. And so, we're trying to cure that and make sure that we explored all the options, like looking at the hotel, looking at another facility. It just was not at all feasible to put these residents in a hotel, because the bed is low. There's no place to really isolate individuals if they have to be in an isolation, condition. So the hotel was not an option. There was one other facility that we looked at, and it was just way too small, and it did not have the ability for us to put some curtains up to get some privacy to the patients. And so, all those things we explored prior to making the decision. We just didn't, complete a procurement record. That was the issue.
I see. And so it got to the point where GMH was like, look, we can't do this. We have to move these patients out of there with or without this lease agreement.
Yeah, right. We know we just need to put them in another place. And the other thing is that that facility, if in case we have a typhoon, we're not able to feed those individuals there because it doesn't have a capability of preparing the meals. And if we prepare the meals here, we won't be able to deliver it there because we're in typhoon condition 1, and we don't want to risk, the individuals, our staff, transporting meals over there. So, for those reasons, we really need to just try and get them out of that temporary facility. And that's what it was. It was just a temporary housing.
Right. Have you heard those? Are you concerned that the AG's office may come back and say, look, this is... we already told you that you didn't follow or you didn't submit the proper procurement records, and yet you moved forward in doing this anyway?
Well, again, because we're looking out for what really is in the best interest for the residents, and I understand the paperwork, and I guess if I didn't do the paperwork as thoroughly as possible, but yet we're keeping these residents safe and meeting their needs in the best interest of their needs. We're trying to meet that. Okay, so.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, yeah. I mean, if we could do it for the quarantine hotels and the Pac Star and all of that, then anyway, this is just bringing me back.
We're doing it in good faith that this is really what is the best at the time that we made the decision, it was the best option for the residents to keep them safe, to continue the care that they need.
All right. Well, thanks, Lillian, for kind of clearing that up.
Can I ask about the roof?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah. No. Cool. I just wanted to ask about the roof.
Okay, what is it that you want to know, Chris, about the
I don't know.
roof?
I know it's a sunny day, but is it still leaking, or maybe if you just a general update on the repairs and things at the Army Corps, and because I remember you had mentioned it a few weeks back.
Well, the roof still hasn't been repaired, and we are still going through the process. Again, it's a procurement process to get a vendor to work with us, what really is the most cost-effective to try and get that roof repaired. And yes, we want that roof repaired since last year. We want to get it repaired, but other things keep popping up. But the roof, we haven't forgotten it. We are moving forward with the procurement process for it.
So the roof is not repaired. Lillian, we had a comment here from our friend Glenn, whose bearer was hospitalized at Guam Memorial Hospital, and he writes here, please tell Lillian that we had an awesome experience with care for Jason. The nurses and GMH staff were helpful. Where's that? Please know that you're all appreciated. Our nurses and GMH support staff are all awesome. They just work in poor conditions and work with limited resources. I blame our leaders for not fixing our local hospital. So you guys definitely do, what you got to do with the limited resources. Hey, Lillian, about the staff though, we're bringing in these nurses. Have we brought in any additional staff, or have some rotated out already with the decline in the hospitalizations?
Some have had to leave for family emergency, but we have had some replacements also.
Okay. Anything else, Lillian?
Continue to stay safe, wear your mask, and I know Thanksgiving is next week, and everybody wants to have a festive celebration, but we're going to have to just make some sacrifices and just make do with the limited number of people we can have in our household to enjoy the meal. But we can still enjoy the Thanksgiving holiday virtually and through electronic and through telephone communication with our family members who can't be with us.
Right.
But, there's always that, this year, but next year maybe we'll have a bigger celebration. So there's hope.
Ever the optimist. Lillian, on that note, because Thanksgiving is next week, I have made virtual yams with the marshmallow on top. I don't know what they call it, but it's virtual. It's the yams. I didn't have time to use the fresh yam, so I used the canned one. But you
don't have the Regeno, the stuffing.
I don't know. That's a couple day process. But I just whipped it together this morning. So if you want to take for the staff, we have the virtual candied yams, I think they call it,
all right,
with the marshmallow. Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much, Lillian. Keep on smiling.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you. Right, thank you. Hey, we're gonna take a real quick break. You know how to make that stuffing?
No.
Okay. Well, maybe Jason.
Do you make traditional, because there's traditional Thanksgiving stuffing like the Pilgrims made, right, with like the bread and stuff like that. But do you make the one
what?
The Pilgrims?
Yeah.
Do you make
Do you put black olives in your stuffing?
I don't make stuffing, but I like it with the black olives.
Really? That's a game breaker for me.
Yeah,
No way.
I do.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like it with black olives and the ground beef.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right? The Chamorro way. With little some. I've tried stuffing with like oyster too. That was good. I just like stuffing. Look at me.
Oysters.
You know what I mean? But of all the stuffing, Chamorro stuffing is the best. Right, Jay? All right, it's 8:36. We're gonna take a really quick break and come back with more of the Link on the Breeze. 93.9. Good morning, Guam. It's Friday.
The holidays are almost here, and we could all use an extra dose of cheer and joy this year. So, we're breaking the rules and giving you a holiday head start on Breeze 93.9 FM. Throughout the months of October and November, listen to the special holiday head start blocks of all the season's favorites from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. and again from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Let's try to make spirits bright and make this the most wonderful time of the year. Happy holidays from Breeze. Holiday Head Start is brought to you by Mariana's Coating, specializing in roof repair and more. Call 483-3967 for more information.
Gesture of kindness can brighten a child's day on Christmas. With donations more challenging to deliver, this year the Salvation Army is in need of your help with their Toys and Joy drive. Donate new toys or gifts for children and teens anytime between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at their Teton office drop boxes up until December 22nd. You can also drop off your toys to our donation drive-thru in our parking lot in Harmon between 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Giving Tuesday, December 1st. Let's all do our part and dig deep to bring some joy to kids in need this Christmas.
Today, the KUM Care Force is calling upon our island community to come together for Giving Tuesday on December 1st for a safe way to help take care of our island family.
On Tuesday, December 1st, stop through our parking lot in Harmon for our donation drive-thru.
We're helping the Salvation Army's holiday campaign. You can drop off your non-perishable food items and gifts for kids and teens to our curbside attendants so we can help ensure your safety.
We'll have holiday entertainment while you wait, refreshments, and other goodies for donors.
And the link will be live on location,
so you can be part of the show.
It's all happening between 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Let's get together and show the world that Guam can still come together for good on Giving Tuesday.
The Christmas Pops Virtual Marketplace is kicking off on Sunday, November 29th, showcasing local vendors, crafts, and gift-giving ideas to get your holiday shopping season going. Watch our Christmas Pops Virtual Marketplace special on Sunday, November 29th on KUAM TV8 at 11 a.m. and Facebook Live with lots of interactive features and giveaways. Then find all the vendors featured on KUAMChristmasPops.com. The program will be encore through December and on demand on the stations of KUAM Communications. There is still time to become a vendor. Visit KUAM.com or email Betty-Ann at KUAM.com to find out how. On December 29th, let's check off Christmas lists and support our local economy while doing it. The Christmas Pops Virtual Marketplace is presented by Stroll Courier. Get all your packages, documents, and gifts delivered island-wide. Visit strollguam.com/courier and book a delivery today. Domino's. Visit domino's.gu for faster, easier online ordering. And JA Guam, bringing the business of life to life.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information. Thrive, a coalition for a drug-free Dedido, is an active partnership of community members and leaders committed to a vibrant, resilient, and empowered Dedido. It takes a village to raise healthy and drug-free youth. Thrive with us. Find us online or email thrive@westcare.com.
These are some of the signs that someone is thinking about suicide. Talking about wanting to die, excessive guilt or shame, and feeling like a burden to others. Feeling empty, hopeless, trapped, or having no reason to live. Feeling extremely sad, anxious, agitated, or full of rage with unbearable emotional or physical pain. Other signs include changing behavior, such as making a plan or researching ways to die, withdrawing from friends or saying goodbye, giving away important items or making a will, taking dangerous risks such as driving extremely fast, displaying extreme mood swings, eating or sleeping more or less, and using drugs or alcohol more often. If you or someone you know is showing these warning signs, get help as soon as possible. Call Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center's crisis hotline at 647-8833 or 4.
We got your 6
at 6 a.m. with the link on Breeze 93.9 FM. Bree and I connect you with all the latest news and information you need to know to start your day.
Then check back with Guam's news leader at 6 p.m. for the day's top headlines with KUAM News Primetime.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and everything else in between with KUAM Digital, we got your 6. Good morning. Matua Sablan, Novia Neni, 8:43, Friday, November 20th. Welcome to the link. It's proudly sponsored by IT&E, where they have the iPhone. Which one are they on, Jay? Hold on.
All 4 models of the iPhone 12.
The iPhone 12. It's on 12 now. Whoa. Yeah, and they got it, so go get it. And thank you for sponsoring the show. Also, Carrier 647 Cool, Kawa Select Care. Yeah, they cover COVID. Federal employees and annuitants. It's the 2020 federal benefits open season. Enroll now until December 14, 2020. Also, the Thrive Coalition. Burger King. Calvo Enterprises. Good morning. It's 8:43. Let's head into the KUAM News Zoom room where we have Ariel Gumatauto standing by. And Ariel, you're currently in quarantine right now. Which of the quarantine facilities are you in, Ariel? And good morning. Thank you for joining us.
I believe it's the Duset.
At the Duset.
Tommy.
Okay. And we'll just start with some background on your story. You know, tragically, I was able to read your application for emergency hardship, and your husband died suddenly in California, correct, of a rare and aggressive form of cancer. And so,
yes, medulloblastoma.
Right. And so you're here on Guam to bury him.
You're moving back to Guam.
I'm officially moved back. I sent all my stuff home just this past week, and then I applied for hardship so that I could receive my husband at the cargo building.
When did you arrive back to Guam?
I came in through Narita on November 14th.
And could you tell us a little bit about the process with the application for the emergency hardship and what you went through, who you talked to, what the response was?
So I started looking into the hardship about 4 days before I arrived on Guam. I was reaching out to family members and friends because I didn't really know the process. Like, I looked online and stuff, but it was still kind of confusing because it's mostly stating for like essential workers. So I wasn't sure like how the hardship worked for like me. So I started applying. I asked my cousin to help me out. She was reaching out to friends who know more about it than I do. So we emailed a lady named Bertha, and then she transferred it over to Sam, who is the I think it's PIM or something like that. And he basically told me that he couldn't take my request until I arrived in Guam. And my husband was arriving the day after me because he had to overnight in Hawaii. So he basically told me like, oh, I can't look at your letter or accept your letter until you arrive here. And then you would basically have to talk to a social worker in the hotel. And I was kind of like hurt by that because I couldn't submit a letter 10 days before, like what it said online. I was literally going off of how United was helping me because my husband was a United employee for San Francisco. And they're the ones that were gonna bring his remains in. And I also needed to wait for the death certificate, which was taking long because they needed to put down a cause of death. So once I got the cause of death, I think it was like 2 days, or the day of, I scheduled his flight home. And then that's when I kept trying to reach out to this Sam guy. I then called him and I was like, I'm arriving in on the 14th. My husband's arriving in on the 15th. And I really want to be there to welcome him home because when my husband was sick, he had brain surgery. He kept thinking he was on Guam. And then when his brain started healing, he kept asking to come home. So I wanted my 3-year-old, my son Caleb, and I to be there to welcome him home. Caleb. And he basically told me, he's like, is there anybody else who can welcome your husband home? And I'm like, that like stabbed my heart. I was like, I literally told him, I'm like, or asked him, I'm like, how would you feel if you lost your wife or child and somebody else is gonna welcome them home? Like it was just me and my son in California and my one auntie, but I was the one there every step of the way, visiting him through a window practically. And then for someone to basically say like, oh, can't somebody else? Like, why would my son and I want to stay in this room and not be able to welcome my husband home? Like, yeah, he has his mom here and his siblings, but you know, like we're his family. Like I'm his wife and his son, like he should be there. And we were willing to take all the precautions. I even got tested for COVID the day before I left California to make sure if I did get accepted for it. Like I had proof that, you know, I got tested. And yes, I could have caught COVID on the way here. I don't know. But I wanted to make sure that I was at least being safe and following all the protocols to make sure that we could be there for my husband to be home.
So, Ariel, you did everything you needed to do. You turned in your hardship application. Sounds like you talked to someone pretty stupid at public health and just really insensitive to tell you that. So you weren't able to meet your husband, Brian?
So that morning I started calling like since 7 o'clock, trying to find out there's a social worker here because before arriving, I asked them, I'm like, is someone going to be there? Is there a social worker there 24 hours? Because when I arrived in Narita, we came in at like 10:40. By the time we got to the hotel, it was almost 1 in the morning. So I woke up early trying to get a hold of someone or the social worker here. So I spoke to one of the social workers. She told me to send the death certificate, all the flight information. And lucky thing, my results for COVID came in that morning, early, like midnight morning, and I was negative. And she said that's going to help me, even though they don't normally accept COVID testing upon arriving. So she forwarded to Nicole Tidinko. Nicole called me, told me she needed to send it to somebody at Public Health to approve it. And then I didn't find out till I think like almost 2 p.m. if we would be able to make it this flight came out at like 7:20. So we got approved to go, thankfully. But like, the reason why I'm sharing this is because I want people to know that applying for this hardship is like, it's really hard. Like, you don't even know if you'll get approved. And that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to prevent doing all this when I got here. Like, that shouldn't have had to be on my mind. I should have been planning a funeral instead. And like, it sucks that there's no heart here. Like, our island is known for being there for people, and it hurts like that I had to, like, for a guy to even tell me like, can somebody else receive your husband? Like, that hurt. Like, I don't even know why he's the one handling it. Like, if you're gonna be handling it, yes, you need to be able to put your foot down, but then you also have to have like sympathy and feel for people, because like I'm grieving. Me and my husband were only 28 years old. Like 28. My son's only 3 years old. Like, nobody should have to be doing this. And it's not like I wanted to do it during COVID. Like, Sam basically said to me, he's like, Guam's going under, like, has a pandemic right now. I'm like, yeah, I know that. The whole world has a pandemic. I come from California. That's the whole reason why I made sure I got tested upon arriving here, to make sure that, like, I know if I have COVID here, and I could tell them ahead of time and prepare and protect other people, like our family on island. Like, I didn't want to have to do this, but my husband wanted to come home, and that's what I wanted to make sure happened.
Did you say your hardship was approved?
It was approved like at 2 p.m. Right now, I'm applying for another hardship. I applied, I think it was Wednesday, so that, because today's our testing day, so we won't know if we'll get released until tomorrow. I'm applying for a hardship right now to see if on Monday or sometime this week I can go to like the funeral homes and make payments and all the arrangements needed, because we're planning to have his funeral on December 2nd.
And what kind of response are you getting in, starting to put this process into play?
I haven't heard back from them, actually. Nicole told me to talk to the funeral home so that they can send a letter, I guess, stating that I need to go do paperwork, but I haven't heard back yet.
What's going through your mind, Ariel, as you're here to bury your husband and just having to deal with the insensitivity, the lack of compassion? Because we've heard it so many times on this show from different people who get into quarantine. I mean, we've spoke to so many people who are here to bury their loved ones or to see, dying relatives. We talked to one lady who they didn't let her out. She came to say goodbye to her. I want to say it was her mom, and she didn't get to do that. Her mom died while she was in a hotel room. And then it also seems inconsistent because some people get out totally healthy. Young bucks get out, but other people, like you, they just get the runaround.
I'm actually hurt. Like, the system here is broken. Like, if I was somebody else, like someone really important, or like with like rich or whatever, however you want to explain, like I would be out of here. Like, I've seen it on the news. Like, I would be out there. But I also want to protect my family. My mom's high risk. A lot of my family's high risk. So like that's the only reason why I'm not fighting to get out of the 6 days as much as I would like to. But the compassion here, there's no compassion. Like, if that lady you're talking about, they could have put her like in a full PPD outfit or head to toe everything to protect her, at least to say her goodbye. Same goes like for me, like it took so long to even find someone who I was supposed to write to just to be like brushed off. It's really sad. Like, there's no heart here. And it sucks that it's coming from our island, because we're known for being there for people during hard times. And yes, it's COVID, I understand. But there's also a way to talk to people over the phone, or like what Sam did to me. Like, you just shouldn't have said that. Like, I don't even know. I'm just so hurt by how the process is here, because it could have gone a lot smoother.
So you get tested tomorrow, and if you test negative, then
today we get tested today.
And this is for the 6-day test out, right?
Yes. Yeah. And then we find out. I think they said between 2 and 5 if you're negative or positive.
It's just a shame. I'm just thinking in my head about this exemption that they granted to pretend farmer Marcel Camacho. I mean, they'd let him walk out of quarantine. You're right. We've had elected leaders walk out on quarantine and home isolate. So I just don't understand why it's so inconsistent and people either have to, air their story out on the media, or be well connected or elected to skip out on the quarantine. You said the system is broken. How do you think we can fix it, Ariel?
Well, I think like they just need to be fair with everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. Like if you're gonna make this quarantine happen, then do it for everybody. And if you're not, if like this hardship is useless in a kind of way, because what's the use having it if like I can't even notify them before arriving? Like they need a better system and to be fair with everybody. Like it shouldn't matter who you are, if you're a doctor, if you're a fighter, if whoever, because people are dying. Like people are grieving. They just, I don't know, like they just need to find a better way and to make it like it needs to be even with everybody. Like if one person's gonna quarantine, doesn't matter if you're a doctor or whoever, you need to quarantine too. Like it shouldn't matter like who you are. It should just be fair.
Well, you know what they say on Guam, it's not about what you know, it's usually about who you know. And I guess you didn't know anybody, unfortunately.
Well, I tried. I like contacted a lot of people, but my name doesn't matter. My hardship doesn't matter, obviously, because it took a really long time for me to even, well, it took me to get here, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Ariel,
even I mean, so this emergency hardship, it just doesn't, for you in your case, because it doesn't really matter right now because you're able to test out. Granted, if you test negative, because it's 6 days, and not test out, but be able to home quarantine.
Right.
Yeah, and then I still need to get a hardship just to go do anything.
Oh yeah, that's right. Wow. Ariel, it's just a sad story with your husband, and I met you guys. I think I want to say it was like earlier this year or last year. But if you want to share just a little bit about Brian, could you?
So Brian worked for United Airlines in San Francisco. He applied 3 years ago. It was his dream. He had tried applying here actually, and then he didn't get the job, so he applied in San Francisco, which he got it, of course. And then we decided to move off island because my son got injured during delivery. He has a brachial plexus injury on his left arm. So the medical treatment was better for us out there. That was our main reason for moving. And then he was just a fun, happy guy, always joking. We always barbecued back in California. We made a lot of Guam friends from his work. And then later on, early this year, he got diagnosed with vertigo in February. And then in August, Brian got sick. I recommended he get tested for COVID because he worked at the airport, and you know how airports are. You meet a lot of people. So he did the 2 weeks. That's when he started getting more sick to the point where he kept closing one eye, vomiting. He could barely keep anything down, even drinks. He was always feeling dizzy. We took him to the doctor. Online doctor, I guess. Diagnosed him with chronic headaches. And then a few days later, I begged him, I'm like, please go get checked again. Something's not right with you. And he just got like, yeah, he thinks that like I'm just saying it, but I could see it. So we did another online doctor. She said, just sip your drinks. You're probably a little hydrated. Changed his nausea medicine. And then on September 8, Brian started throwing up really, really bad. Like, if you ever seen someone throw up so bad where like their body can't control it, like it's just forcing it out, that was him. He was like crying, saying like, please stop. He kept saying his head felt like it was gonna explode. He finally decided to go to the ER. It was around like 11 o'clock already at night. Within 2 hours, we found out that Brian had a brain tumor the size of a plum in the back of his head. And he had a ton of fluid in the middle of his brain. So they needed to transport him to Kaiser Permanente in Vacaville to see a neurosurgeon. He had surgery the next day on September 9 to remove the tumor and to insert a drainage. And then on September 11th, they couldn't clamp the drainage because his intracranial pressure kept rising. So he had to have a second surgery for a shunt. And then 2 weeks later, I found out that it was actually cancerous, that it was a medulloblastoma, which is normally common in kids, but very rare in adults. And that it was a grade 4, so it means it was very aggressive, and that it would eventually come back. So he needed to have chemo or radiation. Also, when Brian had his surgery, he lost movement to the whole left side of his body. So he had to his movement was slowly coming back, but he had to literally learn to sit up, stand, and walk, which he never was able to do before he passed. So the doctors thought he was getting better. They moved him to a skilled nursing unit to recover, so eventually we could start cancer treatment. And then on October 30th, I got a phone call saying that Brian was having trouble breathing, that they're transporting him to the hospital. And then not even an hour later, I got a phone call that he was gone.
You didn't get to say goodbye to him?
No, I was waiting to actually talk to a doctor over a video call when I got the call, and the doctor said they tried everything they could, but he didn't make it. He had a heart rate of 190. He had a fever, and he was having trouble breathing, so they had to put a ventilator on him. It wasn't COVID though. They all got tested that week for COVID. It was actually, the doctor actually believes he had an infection, an unknown infection, and that his cause of death was also like a cardiac arrest because of his heart. So it wasn't actually the cancer that killed him, but like an infection.
I can't even, Ariel. That's just, I mean, knowing that you already went through all that, and then knowing that, like so many other people who are coming into Guam under these kinds of circumstances, that you did your part, you've applied for the emergency hardship. I just can't even wrap my head around why you're still sitting there in quarantine. I mean, you should be at home.
Yeah. It's hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I've broken in this room quite a few times, to the point where like I really wish I could break things in this room, because before I got here, I was so busy. I literally had to pack up my entire household in like a week, sell stuff, decide whether I'm gonna keep things of him or donate. And then to just come in this room and it's so quiet and I can't do anything but try and plan a funeral over a computer. It's hard, like it breaks you because it's so quiet. Like even if a TV's on, and you know I have my 3-year-old, but it really takes a toll on you. Like the depression hits hard.
I'm just at a loss for words. Shame on public health, and shame on this process where you called it yourself. It appears there's one set of rules for the well-to-do and the connected, and another set of rules for the people of Guam, and it's just so unfortunate, Ariel. And we can't, offer enough condolences. Really, it's a tragic situation. I can't imagine what it's like sitting in that room for 6 days, alone with your thoughts and your son. And
thank you.
what would your message be to public health and to the people that police these policies, to the people that put these policies into place? Because it's a damn shame, because it just doesn't stop. There's always somebody with a story like yours that needs to be shared. And every time we do this, we hear from these doctors, we hear from public health, oh, we're going to create a panel that's going to look over this process so that things like this don't happen again. but I haven't heard of any panel. And we're talking to everybody who would be on that panel. And obviously things haven't improved because we're sitting here talking to you. So what's your message out to these people?
I just hope they get it together because it's hard because of course you want to protect everybody for COVID, but then you also want to have the heart for them, you know, like if you can't do it, like there's no way around it, at least have a heart and like, you know, say nice things, don't say mean things to them, but then also be fair with everybody else. Like I honestly at first didn't want to share my story because I was afraid of like the feedback, comments and stuff. But then I also want to help people who are coming in from the States or going through hardship because imagine like I'm lucky. I didn't have to pay my ticket. I was lucky my husband worked for United. But imagine the people who have to pay like $2,000 to come to Guam and then not knowing if they'll even get the hardship. Like that's a lot of money that can go to other things. And especially with COVID right now, not everybody has the money to do it. So like I really hope that something changes here. Not for me because, you know, I'm already like in quarantine, but for at least people in the future or people who are going through it right now who need to come home. Like there's a way, like they can, you know, gown them up if they have to go see loved one. There's a way. Like I don't know if they have to test 3 times in a row or something, but you know, they can find at least a way to help people, or at least find people who are willing to help the people of our island, not just brush them off. So I hope it helps somebody out there, or they have, or like even create a direct link to who they should talk to and not do the runaround.
Ariel,
Thank you for sharing your story, Ariel. And hopefully, by sharing it, we could, hopefully public health is listening and watching, maybe somebody from Adelup. Hopefully we can get this system, you know, fixed, because you're right. You shouldn't have to be going through something like this, and shouldn't have to, you know, reach out to every single person in your contacts in your phone to try and get some help. It's just really sad.
But thank you for having the courage to come on here and share this, Ariel, during this, I mean, difficult and tragic time. And you know, I appreciate that you're doing it. And, you know, we did try and get you a few days, and I know that you didn't want to come on and share your story. So I just, again, I got to thank you for doing that. What's up, boy?
Say hi. Say hi.
Say hi, Link fam. Okay, Ariel, well, keep us posted, you know, on what happens with you. You got our number. Shoot us a message and let us know if public health reaches out to you, or, you know, or says anything, or, you know what I mean, offers you any type of assistance, okay?
Okay, thank you.
And again, our deepest condolences to you and the family.
Thank you so much.
See you. Tired of hearing these stories.
You know, people need to share them.
No, yeah, I know.
And tell people what's going on inside quarantine or anywhere they are, and how they're dealing with this pandemic, and what they're seeing and what they're feeling and what they're experiencing, especially with this quarantine. I mean, I had interviewed Roki just a couple days ago, and he just arrived, and he was told, you know, one thing, and then told another thing and another thing, and all he wanted to do was go to a medical appointment because his knee was swollen, and it was something that he had to do contractually with the UFC. And he was told, you know, yeah, just you can go to your appointment. And then all of a sudden it was like, well, now you need a negative COVID test. And he actually did have a negative COVID test. He had just been waiting for it to be emailed over to him. But at the time it was I guess everybody was asleep in Vegas, because of the time difference. So he couldn't get the negative test. And so when he had called the clinic where he was going to have the MRI, it was like, no, just come in. We have the rapid test kits here. We could do it. And so he told public health that, and public health was like, oh, no, you need to get it from our clinic.
You got to get it from our clinic.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, at the end of the day, he was able to go get his
MRI.
Right, go to his medical appointment.
But didn't something funny happen when he went to the clinic? I think he was transported by a public health or one of the quarantine staff.
Public works, whoever it was.
Yeah. So anyway, they go and they drop Roki to the clinic, and they say, "Hey, call us when you're done." But he didn't.
They didn't give him the.
They didn't give him the phone number. Call 311. Yeah, but just really, what I meant was I'm just tired of hearing these stories because every time we get one, there's someone from the government comes out here and does a song and dance about, we're going to look at it, we're going to change it, and it's still the same damn thing. Meanwhile, if you're a pretend farmer or, you can somehow balabola the government that you're essential, you just walk right out. It's 9:12. We're going to take a break. We're coming back with Admiral John Manone of Joint Region of Marianas next right here on The Link. It's The Breeze, 93.9. Good morning, Guam.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
The holidays are almost here, and we could all use an extra dose of cheer and joy this year. So, we're breaking the rules and giving you a holiday head start on Breeze 93.9 FM. Throughout the months of October and November, listen to the special holiday head start blocks of all the season's favorites from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. and again from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Let's try to make spirits bright and make this the most wonderful time of the year. Happy holidays from Breeze. Holiday Head Start is brought to you by Marianas Coating, specializing in roof repair and more. Call 483-3967 for more information.
Thrive, a coalition for a drug-free Dedido, is an active partnership of community members and leaders committed to a vibrant, resilient, and empowered Dedido. It takes a village to raise healthy and drug-free youth. Thrive with us. Find us online or email thrive@westcare.com. The Christmas Pops Virtual Marketplace is kicking off on Sunday, November 29th, showcasing local vendors, crafts, and gift-giving ideas to get your holiday shopping season going. Watch our Christmas Pops Virtual Marketplace special on Sunday, November 29th on KUAM TV8 at 11 a.m. and Facebook Live with lots of interactive features and giveaways. Then find all the vendors featured on KUAMChristmasPops.com. The program will be encore through December and on demand on the stations of KUAM Communications. There is still time to become a vendor. Visit KUAM.com or email betty@KUAM.com to find out how. On December 29th, let's check off Christmas lists and support our local economy while doing it. The Christmas Pops Virtual Marketplace is presented by Stroll Courier. Get all your packages, documents, and gifts delivered island-wide. Visit strollguam.com/courier and book a delivery today. Domino's. Visit domino's.gu for faster, easier online ordering. And JA Guam, bringing the business of life to life.
Top of the day. The KUAM Care Force is calling upon our island community to come together for Giving Tuesday on December 1st for a safe way to help take care of our island family.
On Tuesday, December 1st, stop through our parking lot in Harmon for a donation drive-through.
We're helping the Salvation Army's holiday campaign. You can drop off your non-perishable food items and gifts for kids and teens to our curbside attendants so we can help ensure your safety.
We'll have holiday entertainment while you wait, refreshments, and other goodies for donors.
And the link will be live on location,
So you can be part of the show.
It's all happening between 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Let's get together and show the world that Guam can still come together for good on Giving Tuesday.
Hafaday and Mabuhay, I'm Ann Pobutsky. I'm the territorial epidemiologist for Guam. Wearing a face covering protects you and those around you. We know that COVID-19 can be spread by people who are not showing symptoms, which means they are asymptomatic. Because Guam remains at risk for significant community spread or transmission of the virus, it is a necessary precaution to wear a face covering when you are in public. Everyone must wear a face covering when they leave home, have it visible at all times, and put it on when they see others nearby. Face coverings are required for everyone when shopping at stores, seeking healthcare, and inside the workplace. Covering your face reduces the chance that you will unknowingly infect someone else if you are carrying COVID-19 but have no symptoms. Prevention saves lives. For more information, please call 311 or visit our website at dphss.guam.gov.
17 Friday, Bitness, November 20th episode of The Link here on The Breeze, 93.9. It's 9:17 coming up. We're going to go to Payless for the wine cellar sale with Kim. And also we'll talk with DC Derek Calvo, a Stroll Courier, and our friends at CPK have already delivered today's Curbside to Crib. And we'll talk about that coming up too. But first, let's talk about this. Rear Admiral John Manone joining us on The Link, The Breeze, 93.9. Good morning, Admiral.
Good morning. How are you today?
We're doing pretty good. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So how have you been?
Busy as usual. Just trying to keep it steady and on course here. It's interesting times is the best way to say it, I guess.
Right. And I'm so appreciative. We are so appreciative that, you check in and with us and whenever we ask if you could come on. So thank you. I did want to follow up on and maybe just get some sort of a progress report on how things have been going with Dodea.
Oh, sure. Thanks for asking. So, as we discussed last time, as we were getting ready or we had just opened the Dodea schools, we talked about being in that band of 20 to 30 DoD-affiliated COVID cases on a daily basis, active cases. We're still sitting in that band. In fact, our active duty numbers are very low. Really, it's retirees, dependents, veterans that we also track that go into that 20 to 30 number. So I think today we're at 30. With respect to Dodea, it's been going well, and we're cautiously optimistic that it's going to continue to go well. The students are very much complying with the mitigation measures that the schools have set up. We are screening those children that show up, with your standard little kid gets a sniffle or has got a cough, screening them, sending them out, and to date, I think we're in double digits of kids that have been tested with 0 COVID positives out of those children. So, we're doing well, but we're also, one slip up away from having to put in some restrictions on whether it's a school bus, a classroom, a wing, a school. So, again, cautiously optimistic, but it seems to be going well.
Mm-hmm. What about, I guess, the staff? How are they doing? Have any of them, the teachers, anybody tested positive? Or
no staff members to my knowledge, and believe me, that would be a phone call from the superintendent here as well as the base installation commanding officers. So nobody that I know of. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen tomorrow or the next day, but we're watching that very closely. And we would run through the same protocols, whether it was a student or a teacher, in terms of shutting things down. In terms of morale, I'm going to answer a question that I know you haven't asked, but in terms of morale, I've heard, both sides of the morale kind of argument. A lot of teachers and parents that I've talked to are very thankful that we're back to in-classroom learning. And then there are some that are concerned, and rightly so, that like I am, that we're, one mess up away from somebody getting sick. So we're working hard to keep those kids in the schools.
But you guys are also still doing online learning as well. Like some students are face to face and some are.
Yes. So the program that was set up by DODEA was prior to the school year starting, and this isn't just here in Guam. You were able to opt into a virtual learning environment where the entire semester would be in a virtual manner, and then at the semester point, you can opt back out of that and go into classroom learning. So then DODEA scaled how many teachers it would need for in-classroom learning based on how many went to this virtual enclave. So that has helped in terms of limiting class sizes.
Yeah, I know that we've had John Fernandez on, the superintendent of the Guam Department of Education, and I know they're kind of watching how things are going with DODEA as they plan to return to face-to-face if the numbers, continue to go down by January. So,
Let's
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm glad that they're looking at us, and we're happy to share data and best practices and frankly places where we've made mistakes with DOE and DPHSS. At the end of the day, I hope everybody realizes that this can't be a zero tolerance mentality when it comes to these schools, just like we can't have a zero tolerance mentality on our ships concerning COVID. We know that when you put big groups of people together, despite your best efforts, you may get a positive in there, and then you just got to fight through it, and don't give up the ship. Keep getting after it every day.
The other big issue that's been occurring, and I didn't get to send this over to Lieutenant Commander Moore, was the construction industry and the governor's and public health's directive to cease all construction. And we know that Black Construction has multiple military construction projects on base. And then we have a Cortec that also had a cluster with their workers. What sort of an impact has it had on military construction projects on base?
So, with respect to both of those, thankfully, the companies are doing the right things and being good partners here on Guam, and shutting themselves down and quarantining their folks and inviting DPHSS into their camps and working with the government here in the military to, one, isolate and contain the problem, and then two, run people through a recovery path so we can get them back to work. While it is impactful in some manner, meaning you end up losing maybe a little bit of your schedule with respect to when a project's going to be done, it is more important to me and to the governor and to all our military leaders out here that we keep those folks healthy, that we keep our base folks healthy, and we don't make this problem worse. So I think it was the right thing to do by DPHSS. We're in full coordination and support of their efforts with respect to the construction community.
What about COVID fatigue? And maybe you could talk about that. I mean, we've all been going through it, and what are your thoughts on it and what's happening on base?
That's a great question, and thank you for asking that, because it is real. You heard me allude to it earlier about this don't give up the ship mentality. If I may get on a little bit of a soapbox here, that don't give up the ship, which is a phrase for not giving up the fight, comes from the War of 1812, and Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry put it on a flag above his ship to motivate his squadron to continue to fight, even when it looks bleakest, even when you're tired and it's not going well. You got to keep trying. And so I sent out a message to the team just the other day on social media, and I'll do a PSA later today on this concept of not giving into the fatigue. And in any fight, in any conflict, you can't just give up. If you give up, you lose. And if we give up the fight here, if we get complacent, if we just say, to heck with it, I'm not going to comply with these mitigation measures. I'm just tired of it. We're going to lose. We're going to lose as a community. And it just takes one person being negligent, not caring about their neighbor, not caring about the mission to take down, a school, a business, a neighborhood, a ship, a squadron. So we all got to keep fighting. And I know that's tough to say, and to be frank with you, I'm tired of it too. We're all tired of it. I get it. It's mentally draining, but we can't give up the ship. We got to keep fighting this.
Exactly. Another issue. What does the Department of Defense do when you guys are made aware that personnel are suspected of violating the health protection conditions or even P Corps guidance?
So there's actually, we fall under two systems here. The first is the Uniform Code of Military Justice. That's the military legal system. So if you violate a lawful order, you're subject to investigation and potential being held accountable under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. We're also, especially if you live off base, subject to local ordinances. So if you violate the governor's P Corps 1 or public health emergency declarations, the rules and the laws and executive orders that go along with it, you're subject to Guam law. And so when we get an instance of somebody violating those laws, whether it's on or off base, those rules, we investigate. And I can only really investigate if I have, some sort of evidence. Like, I can't investigate that this guy had short hair and he wasn't wearing his mask, but I can investigate if I get a name. So we work with the local government, Guam Police Department, Department of Public Health, trying to understand what happened, and if we have any evidence that it's a service member, we refer that evidence to their command for investigation, and then potentially they'll be held accountable. And those accountability things can be anything from, a letter of reprimand kind of thing to actual loss of rank, loss of pay, restriction of movement and liberty, which can really significantly affect people's careers. We take this extremely seriously, and starting with Theodore Roosevelt, when they were here back in March, through just a few days ago, when we become aware of these things, we initiate those investigations and then get after it and then try and track the resolution of that investigation.
Have any of the investigations, has there been any resolution, or can you tell us how many, investigations you guys have done?
And that's a great question that we always get asked, but out of respect for the process and the individuals, I won't talk about, specifics of the investigations or the resolutions, but I will tell you in full confidence and truthfulness that people have been held accountable for things that have made it into the media, as well as things that haven't made it into the media that we know about and that we've talked with the government and taken care of business.
All right. Chris has a question.
Oh, yeah, Admiral, I just wanted to ask about the public comment period, just if you had any comment on that for the PA.
Yeah, for the PA. Yeah. So we've worked very closely over a very long period of time with the SHPO on that PA. That public comment period's opened. We think we've got a good document and a good agreement with Gov Guam in draft form at this point. But, we're all humans. None of us is perfect. And so we will take any and all comments and look at them. And if they're actionable, if they make the document better for both Guam and the military, they'll be incorporated in some manner. Sometimes there's just stuff in there that, people vent through the public comment period that we really can't do anything with. But we read them all, and we make sure that we adjudicate them all appropriately.
The governor had spoke to the Rotary Club yesterday. I don't know if you got to see that, Admiral, but she talked about what she said was the best decision that she made about housing the Roosevelt sailors. And then she had said that because of that, we are going to see some excess land return. And I think what she had said was they're going to continue to kind of milk that. And she talked about other things that we received in terms of assistance for the federal and DOD assistance for the pandemic. Just like if we could get your comments on the governor's comments, and then if there's anything else that's coming down from your side in terms of assistance or any kind of, God, I don't want to use the term payback, but the governor said milking it, so I feel like that kind of opens the conversation a little. But yeah, just if you could just tell us what's coming down from DOD and your comments on the governor's talk.
So I'd rather not comment on her comments, but if I could give you some thoughts on actually this whole process and situation since March. So when I first came into command here, and again as a multi-time resident here on Guam, my intent, as I stated early on, was to do what's right both inside and outside the bases. It's one community out here, depending whether you wear a uniform or not. And so we're going to do what's right, and that's the intent. Right may be different from where you sit, but we're going to try and do what's right for everybody as best we can. And so when Theodore Roosevelt happened, and I remember the day after they pulled in talking to the governor, and her words to me were, "This is the humane thing to do. We need to do this. The people that defend us, we need to help them." When she said those words to me, it solidified in my mind that there is this sense of back and forth where we help each other. And then in terms of advocating for resources or help during COVID or new mission sets out here or excess lands, what the hosting of the Theodore Roosevelt sailors did was put on full display to the world the hospitality, the humanity, the friendliness of the people of Guam to the U.S. military. And everybody saw that. So in terms of making my job easier, that action definitely helps open doors, helps again put on display the patriotism and the caring that we see out here. So I don't have to really comment on that, when I'm talking about whether we keep a field hospital here, get masks, advocate for new weapon system. People understand how helpful Guam has been to the military. I hope that answers your question.
Well, thank you, Admiral Manone, for always being accessible and coming on our show. I just wanted to just wrap it with any message you had. Thanksgiving is next week.
Well, first off, happy holidays, whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas. Hopefully we'll get to talk before then again to everybody here on the island and in the Marianas Islands. Best wishes. I hope everybody stays safe. My message to anybody who's listening is please don't give up. Don't give in to the fatigue. Don't give in to the dangerous narrative about the mitigation measures. Keep fighting through this thing. Let's protect each other so that we can have a very healthy and happy 2021.
Thank you.
Thank you, Admiral. Oh, okay. It's 9:34. They take a quick break. And you guys ready? We're going payless. We're going payless. We're having the big wine cellar sale, so we're actually going to pop a bottle open here. I don't know what kind of show this is turning into, but yesterday it was Guam Brewery having a beer at 9, and then Sabrina had one at 10, and then 11. So we're gonna drink some wine this morning, a little more mellow for a Friday. So that's coming up here at 9:35. Again, it's the November 20th episode of The Link right here on The Breeze. 93.9. Good morning, Guam.
The holidays are almost here, and we could all use an extra dose of cheer and joy this year. So, we're breaking the rules and giving you a holiday head start on Breeze 93.9 FM. Throughout the months of October and November, listen to the special holiday head start blocks of all the season's favorites from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. and again from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Let's try to make spirits bright and make this the most wonderful time of the year. Happy holidays from Breeze. Holiday Head Start is brought to you by Mariana's Coating, specializing in roof repair and more. Call 483-3967 for more information.
A Coalition for a Drug-Free Dededo is an active partnership of community members and leaders committed to a vibrant, resilient, and empowered Dededo. It takes a village to raise healthy and drug-free youth. Thrive with us. Find us online or email thrive@westcare.com. GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information. Thrive, a Coalition for a Drug-Free Dededo is an active partnership of community members and leaders committed to a vibrant, resilient, and empowered Dededo. It takes a village to raise healthy and drug-free youth. Thrive with us. Find us online or email thrive@westcare.com.
The Christmas Pops virtual marketplace is kicking off on Sunday, November 29th, showcasing local vendors, crafts, and gift-giving ideas to get your holiday shopping season going. Watch our Christmas Pops virtual marketplace special on Sunday, November 29th on KUAM TV8 at 11 a.m. and Facebook Live with lots of interactive features and giveaways. Then find all the vendors featured on KUAMChristmasPops.com. The program will be encore through December and on demand on the stations of KUAM Communications. There is still time to become a vendor. Visit KUAM.com or email betty@KUAM.com to find out how. On December 29th, let's check off Christmas lists and support our local economy while doing it. The Christmas Pops virtual marketplace is presented by Stroll Courier. Get all your packages, documents, and gifts delivered island-wide. Visit strollguam.com/courier and book a delivery today. Domino's. Visit domino's.gu for faster, easier online ordering. And JA Guam, bringing the business of life to life.
Even a small gesture of kindness can brighten a child's day on Christmas. With donations more challenging to deliver, this year, the Salvation Army is in need of your help with their Toys and Joy drive. Donate new toys or gifts for children and teens anytime between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at their Teton office drop boxes up until December 22nd. You can also drop off your toys to our donation drive-thru in our parking lot in Harmon between 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Giving Tuesday, December 1st. Let's all do our part and dig deep to bring some joy to kids in need this Christmas.
We're just over here wondering if I pissed off the Admiral because it kind of hung up. I think it's just a military thing. They don't say bye, right, in the military. They're probably like, okay, bye. No, you hang up first, Chris. No, that's not going to happen with an Admiral. So they'll be like, okay, later on. But thanks. Didn't that say something when you get the Admiral of the military on more than your own governor? I mean, dude, if the Admiral can come on and answer questions, where you at, Ludus? 9:41. It's Friday, November 20th. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Cabo Select Care reminding you, federal employees and annuitants, it's the 2020 Federal Benefits Open Season. Enroll now until December 14, 2020. Call 477-9808 for more information. It's also proudly brought to you by IT&E, where they have the iPhone 12. They've got a lot of them. Jason did a whole thing on that you can find on YouTube with Jihan from IT&E. It was a good talk. Also proudly brought to you by Burger King. The Thrive Coalition, who's still going to present today's sneak peek of the One Micronesia podcast, Carrier at 647-COOL, and Calvo Enterprises. Now let's go to the KUAM News Zoom room, where we have standing by Maho and Kimmy. Kimmy's over in Mighty Payless, my favorite Payless, and Maho is not at Payless. She's at the office, right?
In an undisclosed location, right?
It's a secret bunker where they're hiding the backup wines. So yeah, we're doing the wine cellar. So gosh, it's that time of year again. The wine cellar sale.
Yes, it is.
And this is good because we're all going to be staying home for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and it's the perfect Christmas present. You guys can go get my present today. I'm just going to be drinking away the COVID for the holidays. Thank you very much. And Kimmy.
Drinking away the COVID?
Yeah, I'm just going to, I want to take a bath in some wine. And this is the perfect time to do that because the wine cellar sale, they've got so many great deals. We're going to pop a bottle open. Maho, go ahead. Do your thing while we do this.
Or do we want to go to Kimmy over at Payless, my tea?
However you want to do it, guys. But Kimmy, but let's just start here. So what do we got here? This is chilled. It's a Sauvignon Blanc. Tell us a little bit about it.
I guess we're drinking the wine first.
Yeah, let's just...
So the Villa Maria Sauvignon Blanc is a New Zealand staple. It's actually the top-selling Sauvignon Blanc in New Zealand. It has a very high acidity, and it's a light, medium-bodied wine. And it's perfect for this warm weather that we have on Guam.
Warm weather.
and this
Hot
is
weather.
Yeah.
This is just one of the many wines that are part of the wine cellar sale. So since you are a Payless, why don't you show us what you got?
So there's actually 3 huge displays. I don't know if you can see it behind me.
Yes,
Let me try
I
to
see
flip
it.
this camera. There you go. Right when you walk in through the store.
Mm-hmm.
And then the unique thing about this year's sale is that it's not just for one day, it's for 2 weeks long. And attached to the sale is a holiday dinner package giveaway. So if you buy 3 or more bottles of select wine, you get an entry form to win a holiday dinner package.
Wow. Kimmy, first of all, can we just rewind? Because there was a year, I think it was the year before last, where I totally flaked and I was like, oh, the wine cellar sale, but it was like the day before. So it's now going for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
So for people like you, Chris.
Right. Flakes.
We're thinking about you.
Thank you. It's a senior moment.
Adapted to COVID.
Good. This is great. We're going to go ahead and take a sip of this wine that's perfect for Guam's hot weather. Again, this is the...
Villa Maria.
Villa Maria. Okay. Here we go.
Sauvignon Blanc.
I'm going to cheers this up to my Auntie Jeannie in heaven. Happy heavenly birthday, Auntie Jeannie. She was a big white wine
Some
drinker.
people already attacked our displays.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's good.
Oh, he's drunk.
That's really good.
Can we get some Barry White playing in the background, perhaps? Or?
That's really smooth. It is crisp. It's refreshing. It just
think you need
reminds.
to be at the beach.
Yeah, it's really light, and it reminds you of biting into an apple, but like a wine apple.
That's a nice description.
Yeah, it's crisp. I got to work on my wine description, Kim.
I'm just looking at some of the things that are here in the sale. You actually have some really good deep discounts on some of these wines.
Yeah, and it's for 2 weeks long. So, you have enough time to come today, pick up a few bottles, see what you like, and then you have other 13 more days to come and continue shopping. So we're giving you prime opportunity to come on down to all 8 Payless locations.
Wow.
Yeah, for the sale. And we have a little bit of everything from every region of the world, I think we've covered. We even have sake from Japan, which
Wow. Yeah, so it's not just
normally
wine.
don't consider as wine, but it is fermented, so it is in that category.
Maho, I think last year we were down at, I want to say it was I don't know if it was last year or whatever, but anyway, we did a whole live from down there at the wine cellar sale, and I remember you and Kimmy had gone around and showed us some of your your top picks and your great finds. So if you could, Kimmy or Maho, whoever wants to do it, what are some of the really good deals that you need to run down and snag up today?
Here's the Miyomi.
Yes, the Miyomi, which you have in studio, guys.
I didn't see no Miyomi in here. What are you talking about? There's a Miyomi. I don't know.
He's trying to hide it from me. That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, we're gonna
the
try.
Miyomi Pinot Noir, a California, it's a true Pinot Noir, meaning it's 100% Pinot Noir grapes. To be called any varietal or any grape on the bottle, it has to at least be 75% by law, but that is 100% Pinot Noir grape. And it was actually harvested this same time last year.
Wow. So
in November. So you're trying the 2019 Pinot Noir,
right.
Or you'll try later at home, Chris?
Yeah, I really love the Pinot Noir because, sometimes like the Cab Sav or Merlots, they're, I'm like kind of a panty wine drinker. And they just are sometimes, I don't know how to describe it, but they're a little too like Viking for me, They're just like thick but the Pinot.
It's too bolder.
Right, yeah. But the
Pinot Noir is really easy to drink.
Yes.
I think it's perfect for any occasion, whether it be hot or cold, just because it's so smooth. And it pairs well with pretty much any dish you have.
Right. Even pizza.
What about you, Kimmy?
Yeah, I want to know what Kimmy's drinking.
Well, the Villa Maria that you're actually trying is one of my favorites. Fun fact, Sauvignon Blanc and Cab Franc was crossbred to make a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Wow.
So if you are a Cab Sauv fan, try a Sauv Blanc over a Chardonnay. You might actually like it better.
Yeah, I do.
I think for us, the best buy is probably the La Crema lineup. This La Crema Rosé regular price is $34.79, and it's $18.99 for the sale.
Ooh, that one's good too. That La Crema right there.
So rosés are not necessarily sweet, which is something a lot of people have that misconception.
Mm-hmm.
So a Pinot Noir rosé is actually a dry wine. Also at Payless, they've set up these like cute little wine flights, electronic wine openers, and then wine bags to pair well if you're buying gifts for your friends and family.
Right on. But if you're getting something for me, you don't need to get the bag. Just the bottle's fine. So you do have the accessories down there, Kimmy. It looks like a crazy setup, and this is at all the Paylesses.
All 8
Yes.
locations.
You can't miss it. It's probably the biggest display they've done in a while.
Right. Kimmy, let's say, you're one of those people like me who's got a long Christmas list, but you don't want to go spending like $80 on each person because they're really not at that level of relationship. It's just like they're your casual friends, and maybe they got you heard they got you something, so you're kind of like guilt tripped into getting them something too. What are some of the best budget buys at the wine cellar sale?
So there's Thomas Hardy stamp. Is that correct, Maho? Am I on it?
We have a stamp
$10.
sparkly. Yeah, so it's a sparkling wine, so perfect for New Year's Eve or for any get together, or don't get together, but if you're with your immediate family. We
There's
also
a
have
sparkling rosé that's $7.79. Vino Maipo, $6.99 a bottle.
Yeah, we also have a lot of 2 for specials, 2 for 10. So $5
Montes
a
Classic,
bottle.
2 for 14.
What about for the ones that are, pretty good friends, but man, it just irritate the heck out of you, and you want to get them a bottle of wine?
Yeah, that's when you really go all out, because maybe they're irritating because you haven't gone all out and shown them that, love and support as a coworker,
There's some $10 bottles, they're $9.99, 14
Wow.
cans. If they irritate you a little less, there's some Kendall Jackson, $22.69, $17.89, $14.89, depending on the varietal. If they don't
$17.89.
irritate you at all, and you love
Super
them,
premiums, yeah.
Oh yeah, there we
there's
go.
Jordan, there's Freemark Abbey, there's Camus, personal favorite.
Wow, what's
there's
that?
Artemis.
Tell us about that Camus there, because I feel like if someone's really irritating, then maybe you get them something really nice and they just stop being irritating.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's a really, really big boy of a cab sauce. It's very rich and full-bodied. It would be nice with a nice ribeye, a dry-aged ribeye. You can buy that here at Payless Mighty.
You can. So that's for big boys. Okay, that's
Is
good
that
to
for
know.
like the panty kind of wine drinking?
No, she said it's for big boys.
The panty wine? I mean, there's some sweet dessert wine. We have, wait, where's the
I
Muscat?
can't take this abuse anymore.
AJ Muscat Canelli. This is a sweet dessert wine. And that one is only $14.89.
All
So,
right.
I mean, there's definitely a wine for every occasion and a wine for every person.
Irritating or not.
Irritating or not, annoying or not.
Right on.
We're just kidding.
Yeah, no, you're not.
No, just kidding.
Kimmy, we're so glad we're able to kick off the wine cellar sale. And, it's 2 weeks. So if you want to jump on again next week, especially if you're giving us some more wine to drink, we totally could arrange that. Again, it kicks off today, guys. So just run us through, Maho, the info again for the wine cellar sale.
So Wine Cellar Sale 2020 COVID edition, 2 weeks long, starting today, November 20th, and it ends on December 9th. So 2 weeks of crazy, awesome wine sales. We also have another promotion along with this called the Eat, Drink, and Be Merry. Some of our bottles in the stores have tags. Those wines, if you purchase 3 bottles, you're eligible for a chance to win a dinner package. So kind of like a double gift for you.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so come on down, all 8 locations.
Okay, so just go ahead and put a couple of those $56 bottles to the side for Sabrina. She'll be by later. Thank you, Kimmy.
Thanks.
Or you can
Thanks,
get Chris
Mo.
this or the Miomi.
Yeah, I like the
He'll
La
be
Crema.
happy
It's
with
good.
that.
Yeah, totally. Easy to please. That's my motto. Thank you. Thank you,
Price on
Maho.
the Miomi.
There you go. See you at $18.99, Bree.
There you go.
All right. It's a small investment to pay for a dear friend. Thank you, Kimmy. Thank you, Maho.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Bye. Bye.
Kimmy, make sure you try the fried chicken over there. It's pretty all right.
Bye.
See you. There you go. Kimmy and Maho there with the wine cellar sale. That's crazy. It's going for 2 weeks this year. That's what kind of year it is. Finally, 2020 does something good. All right. Thank you in advance, Sabrina, for the gift.
Oh, you're
thank you.
okay.
Yeah.
The Camus.
I'm only assuming you're talking about me when you said irritating. It could have been Jason, but he's more on the annoying side. Guys, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back with Curbside to Crib and our partners at Stroll Courier next, right here on the link. It is The Breeze, 93.9. Good morning, Guam.
Thrive, a coalition for a drug-free Dedido, is an active partnership of community members and leaders committed to a vibrant, resilient, and empowered Dedido. It takes a village to raise healthy and drug-free youth. Thrive with us. Find us online or email thrive@westcare.com.
The Christmas Pops Virtual Marketplace is kicking off on Sunday, November 29th, showcasing local vendors, crafts, and gift-giving ideas to get your holiday shopping season going. Watch our Christmas Pops Virtual Marketplace special on Sunday, November 29th on KUAM TV8 at 11 a.m. and Facebook Live with lots of interactive features and giveaways. Then find all the vendors featured on KUAMChristmasPops.com. The program will be encore through December and on demand on the stations of KUAM Communications. There is still time to become a vendor. Visit KUAM.com or email Betty-Ann at KUAM.com to find out how. On December 29th, let's check off Christmas lists and support our local economy while doing it. The Christmas Pops Virtual Marketplace is presented by Stroll Courier. Get all your packages, documents, and gifts delivered island-wide. Visit strollguam.com/courier and book a delivery today. Domino's. Visit domino's.gu for faster, easier online ordering. And JA Guam, bringing the business of life to life.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Even a small gesture of kindness can brighten a child's day on Christmas. With donations more challenging to deliver, this year, the Salvation Army is in need of your help with their Toys and Joy drive. Donate new toys or gifts for children and teens anytime between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at their Teton office drop boxes up until December 22nd. You can also drop off your toys to our donation drive-thru in our parking lot in Harmon between 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Giving Tuesday, December 1st. Let's all do our part and dig deep to bring some joy to kids in need this Christmas.
The group is Dedicated Minds. It's called Love Love. And you know what's crazy is, like, I know a lot about local music because there's had so many local musicians on Live Local Fridays and I-94 on the Breeze here on the link. But this was a CD that someone had given me way back, and I want to say like 2005, 2006. I don't know anything about who's in the band. All I know is they said, "Oh, it's a local guy. He worked at a music store, I think in San Diego." So that's where we got that from. It's dedicated mine. So I mean, if you guys know anything about this band, they got a couple other songs that are really cool. Hit us up in the DMs or the comments because I'd really just like to know. It's an awesome feel good jam there. That's 10:01. Friday, November 20th episode of The Link on the Breeze 93.9. Let's go to the Zoom room where we have Derek Calvo of Stroll Courier standing by to help us out with this curbside to crib
Time doesn't
segment.
stop.
Good morning, DC.
And neither should you
Hey, good
or your
morning,
business.
guys.
Introducing Stroll Courier. Now you can have all your packages, documents, and gifts delivered island-wide without leaving the comfort of your home or office. Delivery has never been easier with our pre-booking and express same-day delivery options. Visit strollguam.com/courier and book a delivery today.
And I love
Stroll
the
Courier.
evolution of, Stroll
Book,
because,
track, deliver.
Sharing, obviously, with the pandemic, a lot of people staying home. But I know that this courier service is something that you guys were beginning to pivot to even before the pandemic. So just let's talk about the evolution of that and the variety of services that you guys offer with Stroll, Dirk.
Yeah, sure. So we were pivoting into courier delivery even before the pandemic, but I think since the pandemic hit, we had to expedite the process, right? Mainly, first and foremost, what happened with the decline in rideshare is we were left with a fleet of 80 drivers with no income, or their income was like sliced in half, right? So we had to think of a service to keep some money in their pockets and keep it coming in, but also to minimize social contact and provide a convenient service to the community. And in addition, we wanted to help the local businesses that were negatively impacted by COVID to stay in business. It breaks my heart to see in the recent months businesses closing because the minimized foot traffic to the retail establishment. So, yeah.
And so you guys managed to diversify what you guys do over there, and you provide different sorts of services. If you can kind of go into that with, with the documents, packages, gifts.
Sure. So basically, I want the public to really look at Stroll Courier as your local runner and your local errand service, really. We just facilitate delivery for almost anything, packages, gifts, letters. We can even drop your mail off to the post office if you have a pre-shipping label. So we can deliver basically anything island-wide as long as it doesn't exceed 50 pounds. We don't want to strain our drivers now. I think the best thing is that we kind of strayed away from from using our app for Stroll Courier because we wanted to open it up and really have everyone access, even if you're not tech savvy, give everyone access to book a Stroll Courier. So there's 3 ways to book, right? You can book on the website, you can give us a call, and we also pivoted to WhatsApp Business, so you can just send us a message.
Mm-hmm. And so, like, if I wanted to have a gift delivered to like a friend in EPAN, sorry about that, what would I do?
Sure. You can, like I said, you can book it 3 ways, right? So you can go on our website, give us a call, or send us a WhatsApp Business message with all the details of who you're sending it to. The cool thing is that as the delivery is in process, you, the sender, and also the recipient will get a notification that the delivery is in progress. So there's that's the best way to do it.
Mm-hmm. What's the phone number there?
Sure. So if you were to give us a call, it's 647-8765, right? If you were to message us on WhatsApp, it's 682-9902.
What are some of the cool things that you guys have had people use the courier service for, DC?
Man, pretty much everything. We've had people even just deliver food to loved ones across the island. I mean, if an auntie down south in Arahan wants to deliver baked goods to her nephew in Jigo, we facilitated that. If you need to send some documents, if an attorney needs to send some documents that are very, I guess, sensitive, mind you, we don't open any of these things, right? If it's very sensitive, they just put in the description. So If they need to send some documents to any of their clients, we're able to conduct that. And yeah, we've delivered a ton of items.
Let's say you had a person who maybe has an irritating coworker, and they wanted to like deliver that coworker some wine from, you know, like a wine cellar sale or something. Doable, right?
Doable. So the thing is that we don't conduct any of the transactions for the goods. We just facilitate the delivery.
Right on. But Payless has that whole app thing where this person they just buy it through the app, but instead of them delivering it, they could okay.
Sure. That's something. Yeah, we're gonna look into that for sure.
Right. How about like you know, flowers, love letters, that kind of thing? If you want.
Absolutely, we'll deliver that, of course.
Cool.
Are you planning something, Chris? I think you're planning something.
No, I'm just asking for, you know, for a friend.
For a friend? Asking for a friend?
Yeah, got that right. DC, so we actually have some CPK here as part of our Curbside to Crib, and I love how you guys have partnered with us for this segment. So you do this too, right? And all you got to do is you just do the order of CPK, and then you guys can deliver food or whatever, right?
Absolutely. As long as the transaction is made on your side,
right?
You can give us a call, and we can basically pick up anything you want. I also want to highlight, guys, that we've actually partnered with a pretty good company, with a pretty high level luxury company on Guam for delivery during the holiday season. So we've partnered with the DFST Galleria, right? So starting November 24th, they're launching their online shop. So you can go to dfs.com and you can purchase your goods on dfs.com, and all orders. And if you spend over $400, you'll get a free stroll courier delivery.
Wow.
On Guam.
Right on. What number does
Shout
Bree
out to
call
you
for that?
guys. What was that?
What number does Bree call for that? Let me get some of that Godiva.
$400 worth of Godiva.
Hey, you know, you get
for an irritating friend. Okay.
Free delivery. Hello. DC, thank you so
Right.
much, man. In closing here, before we let you go.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so please, guys, minimize social contacts. Stay safe out there. And you can book a delivery 3 ways with Stroll Courier at strollguam.com/courier. You can give us a call at 647-8765 or send us a message on WhatsApp Business at 682-9902. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks, DC.
You got it, DC. There's some virtual candied yams in the Zoom room there if you want to take some. I don't know what kind of.
I heard about that.
I don't know what kind of diet you're on, but if you want to just grab that, it's free.
Appreciate it, Chris.
You got it, DC. Take it easy, my man.
Stay safe.
Yes, take care.
Okay. Shoot. And yeah, talking about our partners with Curbside to Crib here at California Pizza Kitchen, CPK, we have actually got some of their personal sized pizzas, which are available at Circle K. Okay, you can fuel up on the go. Available at all locations except Cabras, Malolo, and Sun Plaza. Okay, the flavors we have here, Bree, we've got a pepperoni, and they have the big pepperoni, Jason, at CPK, the fat one.
Pretty big.
The regular pepperoni, it's not so fat, but this pepperoni is big. They've also got the shaved mushroom and spinach and mushroom pepperoni. Look at that. Look at that.
It looks good.
Dude.
And these are like a personal pan size.
Yeah.
And they usually deliver them early over at the Circle K, so you can pick one up as you head into work.
Right.
And you are good to go.
You are. I mean, you don't even have to pick it up when you head into work. You can pick it up and head home and stay home, right? True. And you throw that in the oven. You just throw it on your cookie sheet, 450. It's just boom, like brand new, okay? Thank you so much to CPK. Look at that, Jay. Look at that pepperoni, dude.
That's very impressive.
And then we have the pepperoni mushroom there. And the shaved spinach. Now, it's the Parmesan that's shaved, not the spinach.
Again, CPK personal sized pizzas, they're available at Circle K. They are available at all locations, again, except for the Cabras, Malolo, and Sun Plaza locations. But everywhere else, you can pick one up.
Okay. It's 10:09, guys. Thank you so much for jamming with us on this Friday Business episode of The Link on the Breeze 93.9. Good job, Joe, sir. Jason, good job today.
Thank you.
Master Control, KUAM News. Remember, we got your 6
Yeah, I didn't do a good job. All right.
Yeah, I was going to save for last because you're getting me a nice bottle of wine.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to the KUM News team because they got our 6 with the primetime newscast, guys. Be safe this weekend, okay? Remember, we got to get that car score down. And how do we do that? We stay home, wash our hands, watch our distance, and get the willpower to flatten, not fatten, this curve. All right? Good job today, Sabrina.
Oh, good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
No, it's cool. I know you got a big meeting, and this would be nice to Sabrina because she got a big meeting coming up with a. I just want you to put in a good word for me. All right. Anyway, guys, it's Friday, 10 after 10. Again, this has been The Link on the Breeze 93.9. Thank you so much to our Facebook Live viewers. Always a pleasure to have the Link fam in the house.
Be safe, everybody.
My name is Chris.
I'm Sabrina.
Thank you. Toto Marianas. Esta. Adios.
Bye.